Yo, what's good? We're back with another one. Red Cup Hawk. Lynn, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
I am good. Wait, hold on. I forgot this was on.
Oh shit!
We're in YouTube Inception.
Oh shit!
I guess that means that the sound is working. So
that's a good news, right?
Everybody that's coming into the chat, they should be coming in. They should be able to hear us. So normally, I say, yo, put a 1 down in the chat because I don't know if they can hear and or see us. But since we just went through there, it looks like they can at least hear us. You see what I'm saying? So anyway,
yes.
Lynn, how are you?
Doing all right.
Good. We're gonna have some fun here tonight.
As we always do.
As we always do.
Always.
As we always do. What's good? Everybody coming down.
Rifle?
Look at that. They already know you. You got a little family up here. You ain't even know it.
It's like fam jams.
It's your what?
Fam jams.
Oh, fam jams.
Red Cup. Fam jams.
Red Cup talk. What's good, Riddick? How are you? How are you? Cookies. What up? Pernell, yo, MTR was cracking. What's good? Amazing production. What's good, my G? How are you?
Right.
Menzi, as always. Battle Rifle says, what's up, Lynn?
I said, what's up, back?
Building South, Red Cup Talk. What up? How are you? How are you? You know,
I know it has been a minute. I'm sorry. Amazing production. I'm sorry. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a minute. Yo, the first thing she came in here, she was just like, what is all of this?
I know. It's like, that's new.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff in here today. Since the last time that you've been, I've probably gone up by like 2,000 subscribers since the last time that you came in. So you might see some new people in here.
Well, new
avatars.
Yeah, new avatars.
New avatars.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right? Hi, Nels.
Let me see. MTR, you look like Calvin, so I'm gonna say, hey Calvin. Battle Rifle being funny down there. Been a minute, Lynn. Hi, Lynn. First time seeing you.
Nice to meet you.
Listen, what's good? Red Cheeks talk.
Okay, Pernell's asking me for an update in life. Hold on. I think the last time I was here was your party for all of. That's the last
time you were literally here.
Like literally at your house.
Yeah. So what's up? So talk about an update. What's been going on? With
that was that before or after Thanksgiving? After.
That was 2019 for sure.
Yeah, 2019 for sure.
I think it was before Thanksgiving. No? Am I tripping?
Or maybe it was right after.
You know what? I think it was after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think it was like early December.
Yeah. I think it was like first week of December. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, it was first week of December. Super cool. I got to meet all the other guests that, I stalk his YouTube channel, so I get to like watch them and then like feel like I have a relationship with these women, but then like don't actually know them.
Yeah. So was it cool to like see them on video and then to see them?
Yeah. It was like super cool to talk to them in person because they're real people like me. And
and that's what I think a lot of people kind of take for granted. You know what I'm saying? That this is not like paid actors or anything like that. Like these are all just they're all people and folks that I know in and out my network, and they all may not necessarily know each other. So that's why I did the co-host party so that everybody can meet. And just like we're building a community online, we're also
down
building
the
a community.
Street.
Yeah, you right down here.
Exactly.
You right down here. So so good.
Hold on.
So update.
Update. Since then,
wait. Hold on, Lynn. 1 second.
Yes.
What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with one more video. Join today by a very special returning guest.
What's up?
Hey, Lynn.
Hey.
Okay, now the show has officially begun.
Okay, right.
All right, so we were talking updates, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So hold on. I went home for Christmas, so I went back to, for those of you who don't know, Nels, I think, is new, and probably a few others. I'm from Canada, so I went home to Toronto Spent some time there for Christmas and New Year's, and then I came back here. And then I thought, so I did some math because I'm nerdy like that. And I counted the amount of travel I did last year, and just on weekends alone, I spent about 51% of my weekends in my own bed here, and the other 49% in a hotel bed.
So you travel for work? Is that what you're saying?
Half of it is travel for work and half of it is personal travel. And a lot of times I'll tack on personal travel with work travel. So for example, a few weeks ago, I had to go to Frankfurt for work, and my best friend lives in London, as I was telling you earlier.
Frankfurt, Germany?
Yes.
Okay.
So I, was like, well, if I have to go to Frankfurt, hop skip on the way back, I might as well just hang out in London for a few days, take the weekend, and then come back, so that we could spend some quality time together. So, that I'm privileged in that I'm allowed to do that and am able to do that. And that helps me get in a lot more personal travel.
You're cool. All right. And the reason why I say that,
Stop it, you're cool.
The reason I say that, like, that's a dope idea. You know what I'm saying? If you're already over there, you might as well do a little hop, skip, and a jump to see, like, friends that you have over there, and make time to be able to do that. But that's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Even here, if I have a meeting in Chicago on a Thursday, like, might as well work off site, work on, as long as I have Wi-Fi, I can work on the Friday, and then stay through the weekend, see some friends, eat some food, go exploring.
That's good.
Might as well take those opportunities, because I think it was the great poet and lyricist Marshall Mathers once said, "Opportunity comes once in a lifetime."
You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. I had to think for a second, like, where did that come from? Yeah. Listen. All right. So listen. So I think it'll be also helpful so that you guys already see the topic of what we wanted to get into, intercultural dating. And we already started to talk about the intercultural travel and what have you. So, like, everybody that's down in the chat right now, let me know exactly where y'all are from. Let me know, actually split up into two ways. Let me know where you were born at, and then let me know where you're living right now.
Ooh.
Of all 60 or so of y'all down into the chat right now, I need to see all of that. And also go up and hit the like button before you do any of that. All right, show me some respect. Salute to everybody that's coming down. While you guys are down in there writing that, let's go and see what's going on. Does Lynn have a YouTube?
Lynn does not have a YouTube. Lynn has a YouTube account that she uses to look at YouTube. Right.
But you got some validation coming in here.
Thanks to Sean.
Hey, there it is. There was Maurice says, yes, sir. Asian Johns is the new Johns for black men. They bring great energy on God.
What's John's?
Oh, you may have to take the title. So, recently we just lost the Midwest Cutie Pie title, because Kelly is no longer going to be a part of the channel.
Right.
So, like, I feel like you might take the Canadian Cutie Pie. Yeah, I think you might take the Canadian Cutie Pie title. I think that might be your new. Anyway, John is a colloquial term, generally if you live in Philadelphia or in and around that area, right? So, like,
food
Delaware.
In that area.
Yep. Great food. I think cheesesteaks are a little bit overrated, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so they say John to really identify anything. It's like saying the in Philly.
Okay.
Like that John over there. Let's go up to the John. You know what I'm saying? Yo, did you bring the John?
Okay.
It's like it's like the thingy. Yeah.
Okay. There's a similar thing in French, le truc. So the thing or the thingy.
Oh, in French they do that too?
Yeah. We do that in every language.
You're so cultured. I can't wait to get into this discussion, because also too, while they're sitting over there answering, and I'm gonna go through all the answers too, so you guys better write it down in the chat. So just go real quick, your ethnicity, and where you were born.
Okay, cool. So I am ethnically Han Chinese, or rather racially Han Chinese. See, I'm already fucking it up. Racially Han Chinese.
And when you say Han, I think of the Han Dynasty. Is that any relation?
So the relation is, so if you think about like what most people think of what Chinese people look like, a lot of them, like 90% of China is the same racial ethnicity as me,
Mm-hmm.
but they've got like over 50 documented ethnicities that live in China, and they have completely different customs, and like they're considered a different race.
In China, there's
Yes.
over 50
different documented races, yes.
That identify as
not Han. Yeah.
Not Han, but Chinese.
Yes, but they are Chinese.
I didn't know that.
So it's like the difference between race and like nationality, right? Like let's say, so my nationality is Canadian. I grew up in Canada. I grew up in Toronto, went to school in Montreal. I was born in Hong Kong. So I identify as a Hong Konger as well. And then but then racially, ethnically, I'm different from what my nationality is.
Right, because you're Canadian.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you identify as Han Chinese from where you were born at, but you grew up in Canada.
Yeah.
Which I know there's like giant provinces in Canada.
Yes.
Like whereabouts?
So I grew up in Toronto, which is in Ontario. It's like if you think about the map of Canada, well, I guess this way for you guys. It would be like just north of like the Midwest.
Yeah.
Kind of like more on the eastern side. But I think the culture is a little closer to East Coast culture.
Yeah.
And then you have the Maritimes, which is like even further east. And they have a completely different culture too. Think like Maine. That's like Maritimers in Canada. Like that's what their culture is, like super friendly people. The seafood's amazing. It's beautiful. Like just if you get the chance to like do a road trip out there, do it.
It's probably beautiful.
Yes,
it's probably
gorgeous. The air is super crisp, and you're like, oh, what have I been doing with my life?
Right.
Why do I live in the city?
Probably only in the summer though, because I feel like in the winter, like I feel like anything above Toronto is torture in the winter. You see what I'm saying? And I'm being facetious. I already know where you're from, but I just want to make sure that they know where you're from.
Right, because some people are new.
Yeah, there's a lot of new people in here. And just real quick, I love Toronto. Every time that I go to Toronto, I'm just like, yo, I'm like looking up job listings. I'm like, I might need to live here.
Hey, you have a master's degree. We have something called a global skills program.
Yeah.
So quick PSA about Canada. We don't have very many people.
Was it like 3 million total or something like that?
Oh, no, million? More than that.
Sorry. I think I just disrespected her. She's no longer the Canadian cutie pie. I repeat, she is no longer. No, go ahead.
There's like double that amount of people in Toronto.
Sheesh. I'm working on my culture here, girl.
So it's like we've got about 36, 37 million people in Canada.
Yeah.
That's less than the population of California.
Okay.
But it's like we've got the second largest landmass in the world.
Yep.
And so one of our big things is, hey, we want to grow our population in a sustainable way. And if you have certain skills, if you have a master's degree and above, there are fast track permanent residency programs that you can get. It's basically a green card or the equivalent. And that like allows you to legally look for a job and get hired tomorrow, basically, the moment you have it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's like, I think the programs that they have like that in Canada leads me to understand why there's so many there's such a diversity right. So like when I'm in Toronto, you go on one city block and you're looking and you'll see a Japanese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, a Jamaican restaurant, all in like a one block, and that's just one block. You see what I'm saying? And it's dope and it's amazing. The people up there are Torontoans. Like Canada, I don't know what's in the water up there, but like, oh my goodness, like I lose my mind when I go up there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the people are really attractive because it's a city too. Like,
yeah, well, it's a city, but I also like, I don't know. I feel like when we start mixing cross culturally, I don't know, like I don't know. It's just
I'm actually in Toronto, actually in Canada in general. I think I've only been to like one. Actually, no, I've never been to a non-intercultural wedding in Canada. Like the last couple of weddings I went to were like the bride was like born in mainland China, grew up in the UK, shout out to England, and then like, you know, moved in her teenage years to Canada, then moved to New York to finish her PhD at Columbia. And then her like groom, he's like an ethnically or rather racially like white dude, ethnically like Hungarian, but he grew up in Argentina because that's where his family moved to. And he's Jewish. So it's like all of that fusion, like all of those things. Try to like, it's easy when you say like, oh yeah, I'm going to like a Chinese Portuguese wedding or like whatever. But
yeah, like
in some of these cases, it gets like really, 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 really long.
Listen,
but it's a lot of fun because everything just mixes together. The food's usually great. Everybody mixes in these like fun little like traditions.
Facts. It's if you look at like futurists discuss about like what we'll look like in like 100 years, and I just feel like it's just the amount of brownish tint in people's skins are going to just go up significantly.
Absolutely.
The more that because it's funny, like even if you think of like the construction of like a Europe, right? Europe is divided by what in the States is like the distance of states, right? And a lot of the reason for that is transportation. I mean, just think about when the kingdoms were being formed at that time, there wasn't the level of transportation that they have today. So they were able to form kingdoms in generally smaller areas, right? So it's like something to consider. But to also consider that, there's people out there that want to do nothing more than to keep races pure or ethnicities pure, I think it's a little bit weird to me. You know what I mean? I'm all for, survival of the fittest in the dating game. You see what I'm saying?
Makes the bloodline strong.
To keep it all together,
no,
or
to mix it.
To segregate or to integrate?
Keep the bloodline strong, like trying to keep all the same blood. You're gonna end up with like
3 eyes.
Yeah, or like those like inbred like archdukes in like the 1200s or whatever. Like that's what you end up with. Or like even look at dogs. When we breed dogs, like if they're purebreds, they generally have more issues.
That's a fact. Yeah. I'm thinking. Yeah. There's some dogs that are like, I know we're getting way off topic, but there's some dogs that are like born like pugs, like they're like born to die early, all of them.
Yeah, because they haven't been interculturally dating. That's why.
Yeah. So they just take the weakest genes from each other.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, back to your earlier comment about the world becoming more like tinted. The statistics also prove this. I was looking into this a few months ago on where like the world population is growing. Africa has the highest population growth by far of any continent in the world. It's like 2.5% versus I think the next one is like 1.1% or something.
Africa?
Yes, and they've got over like 1.1 billion people or something like that. Don't quote me on that one. It's like 1.1, 1.2, something like that. So like by 2030, we're gonna have like an insane amount of people living in Africa.
Yeah.
And right now there's a ton of investment coming. I mean, China's been investing in Africa and African infrastructure for the past like 15 years heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, as has France, as has the UK. And with that is that a lot of Chinese companies like export their workers from China to move to Africa. You don't think some of those families are getting together and like mingling and
Facts.
like making babies? Absolutely, it's happening.
Facts. And also, so for folks that do not know, so you're saying about 1.1 billion in Africa. United States is only 330 million.
Yeah.
So Africa is a much bigger landmass, by the way. Like a lot of the maps that we have all seen, it shows the United States of America about relatively the same size as Africa. It's not. It's like true. 4 times bigger. Yeah. Africa is massive.
And it's got a ton of countries in it, right? Like all with different cultures, all with different some different languages, depending on which country you're in. You might be speaking, religions, cultures, like everything's just different. And of course, there's also the like ethnically different people who have migrated there too, right? Like some of my friends are whose families are Indian background, like have moved to South Africa or like Kenya or Nigeria or whatever. It's pretty, you just immigrate to somewhere else.
It's so I just that, but like there's 330 million in the United States, and I want to say it's like 13% that are African American. So was that like 14?
I think it's 16 actually.
16?
Yeah. I looked that up when I moved here.
Yeah, I actually did a video earlier today. And I was trying to look it up and I thought it was, it might be, so here's the problem not the problem, but it might be 16% when you consider Hispanic heritage. Like, on the Census Bureau that there's that there's like African American and then some it's like with Hispanic or without Hispanic.
Okay.
I think if you add in the with Hispanic, then it gets up to 16.
I see. Okay.
And then, but then the ones that are just Latin American,
okay.
that's not counted in the African American.
Okay.
I might have just made all of that completely up, but
so
let's
fact check this.
let me fact check this
fact check
because
this
we like the Joe Rogan experience over here. We can Google stuff real quick. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Census.
I feel like we should go through some of the comments to see where people are from too.
Absolutely. Let's do that. Actually, we can multitask. Do you mind doing that over here?
Yeah, I can do that real quick.
You mind typing that in and then let me oh, actually, I don't know if I could do that at the same time now I think about it.
Can
yeah, no. Let me go through the comments real quick. Yeah, go ahead. Let me see. Keep going. Nice. Keep going. In United States.
Population in the United States.
We don't have this information for you guys. We're not gonna leave y'all hanging. 37.
Okay, 37. There are 37.
Hold on, let me bring this up real quick so they can.
Okay, 12% of the population are non-Hispanic Black.
So
does that include Caribbean, like Afro-Caribbean Americans? I don't know what the proper term is.
Let me blow this up real quick so they can see it.
Dual screen.
Come on, girl, we fancy over here.
I feel like we like.
Yeah.
Come on, I see the part. Tell them like what?
We fancy over here. All right, listen, let me blow this up so that they can see that. So there were 37 million non-Hispanic Blacks, which comprised of 12.1% of the population. This number increased to 42 million, according to the 2010 U.S. Census, which included multiracial African Americans, making up 14%. Okay, so including multiracial African Americans make up to 14%. So again, so that's 37 million out of the 330 million. So compare the 37 million in the United States to the 1 billion in Africa. Holy moly.
Yeah.
That's why numbers are so real. Okay. You want to get back down to the comments? We got to acknowledge where everybody's from.
It's true.
All right. Hold on. Let me see. We catching up to you guys. Manzi, I see you in the chat. Everybody hit the like because I know you guys come in here and you forget it. We're going to have a fantastic conversation today. We're going to talk about dating and intercultural dating and all of that. We're going to hit it from a variety of topics. So clip on your seatbelt, get out your red cup. Let's do a cheers. And let's get it.
Wait, hold up. So in Quebec, we have this saying where if you cheers,
okay,
you got to make eye contact while you cheers.
That's like in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in Quebec too.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's 7 years of bad luck.
Do I say something when I cheers you?
You could just say cheers.
Oh, what? She's been playing me.
Or in Quebec, we say santé.
This whole live stream, she's been playing me.
No, it's true. Look it up. Google it.
She's been playing me. She said, "You just say cheers." Okay, just say cheers.
Just say cheers, or you can say santé.
All right, in Germany too, just so that you know, you look someone in the eye and then you say Prost.
Yeah.
And then if you don't look someone in the eye, you get like 7 years of bad luck or something like that. But you want to say santé?
Yeah, santé.
Santé. Oh wait, no, I messed up.
You gotta make the eye contact, man. Got 7 years, both of us.
Santé.
Santé.
Okay, when can I break?
Now.
Okay. Let's get in there. Young manhood, what is good with you? Everyone go up and like that video. Appreciate y'all. Hey Gloria, what's up? You always got a special welcome to ladies that venture into here and find the channel.
Thank you for joining me on this journey.
Yeah. Because the ladies always appreciate when ladies join the channel.
Oh, and she's from Haiti. What's up, my francophone friend?
Hey, from Haiti, living in Portland, Oregon. What is good? Born and living in Ohio. What's good, Hood Magic?
OH.
I-O. What's up to Sean? England, born and raised.
What's up, Commonwealth Connection?
Oh, shit. Uh-oh. You got some brethren in here.
It's true. Greg, where are you from? Actually, not just the whole. It's a very
not the whole thing. Yeah,
whole thing.
That's very ambiguous and nebulous of you, Greg. Canada, Texas, born in Texas, raised in Texas. What's up, Robert? My first time seeing your avatar in here. Welcome. Now says born Nigerian, living in Philly. Philly, what's good?
Oh, sweet deal.
Philly, what's good? I like
Nigeria,
Philly.
what's good too?
Word. Mr. Precise, what's good, my G? U.S. and Illinois. Salud. Midwest is in the building.
Got Lisbon.
Oh,
Super
Lisbon.
Cool.
Listen, I watched this channel. It's a financial literacy. Yeah, it's a financial literacy channel. I was thinking of where they were from, but they actually just retired. They're 40 years old and they actually just retired. It's called Our Rich Journey. I know, guys, I haven't uploaded a lot of bag talk videos. Yeah, maybe we should have like a mini bag talk at some point here because I feel like you'd be a fantastic person.
Love bag talk.
Yeah, well, we'll circle back to a bag talk discussion
back to that.
right here today during the Red Cup talk. We will absolutely do that because I feel like that's very important. But anyway, they just retired from America at 40 years old in Lisbon, Portugal.
Fun.
Yeah, and I'm just watching their channel like, oh my God, like goals, and they have 2 kids. I did a video on them. Yeah, I did a video on them because they're married. Awesome. So I thought it was important that folks can see that, you know, there's some degree of marriage that can work for people. What's good? What's good? Cannon, what's good? Yo, what's good? Your boy Sam was sipping crazy last night. Yo, he was. Listen, I didn't even know how blue pill Sam was. You see what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't trolling at all. That's the way that brother thinks. You know what I'm saying? So, but salute to Sam. We got to get him back in here. Flatbush in the building. Salute, my G. Good to see you. Young Manhood.
Oh, Cali. I was just there in January. My best friend, she quit her job and spent a couple months island hopping. Yeah. And I was going to join her in Barbados because we got friends who live there. Yeah. And then I couldn't make the flights work. And she was like, I want to go to LA then. And I was like, you want to? All right, cool. I'll meet you there for the weekend. And then like I took a red eye back and went to work. It was fun though.
You're cool, Lynn.
No, I'm just crazy.
Listen, you're living and experiencing life the way that you should.
Trying.
Listen, that's the best.
And still trying to get that bag.
Oh, we're gonna have that bag talk. Let's circle back around to it a little bit later. Born in New York, live in Virginia. Aunt, what's good? Amazing Productions. Live in Pennsylvania. Born in New Jersey. Cool. Salud. Yeah, I used to live in Pennsylvania. I went to Penn State for undergrad. For folks that do not know that.
Very cool.
Let me see. Quiz, what's good, my G? Connecticut, born and raised, Asian, white, black, and Brazilian. Connecticut. I actually had a job offer in Hartford for I think it was Travelers Insurance or no, it was United. It was some technology company. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, I took a look at Hartford, Connecticut, and I was like, I don't think that I can do that.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, and from what I saw, it wasn't like the popping factor that I was looking for in a town.
Okay.
Yeah, man, born in Jamaica, but living in Texas. Salud. Listen, I've taken a trip down to Jamaica. It was actually, you know, it's crazy. I'll tell a real quick story. Okay. I actually met a young woman, and this is why this is relevant. I met a young woman in Canada. Yeah. And I met her on like a Friday night during Caravana.
Of course you did. Yeah. Shout out to Caravana.
Yeah. I love Caravana.
Everybody loves Caravana.
So I met her, and then like, you know, I'm just over here just, you know, kind of talking with her. Yeah. And I was kind of wasted that night though. And I woke up in the morning and I'm like texting her. I really kind of didn't remember what she looked like or anything like that. Anyway, we were just talking throughout the next week. And I said, yo, wouldn't it be dope if like we had a first date, like international? Yeah. And so we ended up going to Jamaica.
Yes. I love this story.
It was a terrible trip. It was the worst trip I've ever taken in my entire life. Now, mind you, of course, like when I say that we took a trip, I paid my way and she paid her way, right? So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I went on vacation. No foul, so it's no harm, no foul. However,
was she not fun?
It was excruciating. It was excruciating for a variety of factors. I want to do a whole video on it. I don't want to get too much off topic, but I feel like it deserves its own video.
Okay, you did get a good story out of it though.
Oh, it's probably gonna be like 4 different stories.
Okay, was she like Jamaican Canadian? Like was she Toronto Jamaican? Because there's a ton of them.
To be honest, I do not even remember. Okay, I don't remember because you know I pushed it so far into the back of my mind. Okay. That like I have to really sit back, remember, and then long story short, at the end of it, I blocked her on everything. Okay. That's how it ended. But yeah, that's gonna be an entire video.
Watch that video.
Yeah, we're gonna get in it.
Shout out to all my Chinese Jamaicans. There's like a lot of Chinese Jamaicans.
Yo, every
living in
time I see a video of a Chinese exterior but a Jamaican interior, like a voice.
Which, I mean, they've been there for generations.
Yeah. It's just dope to see though. Like I see it, I'm like, oh.
I think I read somewhere that Bob Marley's first producer was actually Chinese Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
I don't know if that's fake news though, so somebody Google it.
Yeah, someone Google and let us know.
Right,
we gotta let me
this.
see. Kenyon.
Cool.
Oh, so he's answering you. Guys, what's good? Malcolm, what's good? My J. Menze, South Africa in the building. We international,
Cool.
Lynn.
Yeah.
We international,
sure.
Lynn. Maybe Menzie can come hit us with some of the Africa facts that we was talking
I
about
feel like
earlier.
we've got quite a few like Africa facts who could hit us up if yo, who said Markham down there?
Where what?
Yo,
missing something?
somebody said, yo,
What's that mean?
Okay? You from Markham, Canada? Because like
Oh, that's a province in Canada?
No, that's like a part of Toronto. It's like where the best Chinese food in North America is. I don't care if y'all say like Flushing, New York has the best Chinese. Y'all are lying. Markham has the best Chinese food. I would know because I grew up there.
I feel like a New Yorker told you that. Now, let me just keep it funky. There is nothing better. And I'm going to have to go up to Markham and pressure test this. But there was nothing better than going up to the spot, up to the block, and then getting some Chinese food. And then, from the spot that, on occasion, you might go in there and see a roach on the wall. But it's good. It's just seasonings. You see what I'm saying? All my New York cats know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know.
There was nothing better.
Chinese people from Flushing driving up to Markham just to have the Chinese food.
I don't believe that. I will say, though, one of my best Chinese food experiences was in Toronto.
Because there's a lot of us.
Dim sum?
Yeah, that's a Cantonese thing. It's like
that's not Chinese.
It is. It's just like a southern thing. So
okay.
I mean, China's like big.
Okay. North,
south, east, west, central. Like people have different foods, different like types of cuisines.
Yeah.
Languages.
With my two bites. So I was in business school when I was living in Rochester. So I was like 3 hours away. And I went with a Chinese friend and a Korean friend, and they took me to a spot in Toronto. And literally, I'm like, I walked in, no one spoke English. In Toronto, no one spoke English. The menus, there was not an English menu. And we got this. Yeah, there was not an English menu. But the food, I lost my mind. I lost my mind.
Leo knows Markham has the best dim sum. He's right, because like a lot of Cantonese people live there.
Listen, I'm missing some of these chats. Let me go up and acknowledge some of the things that's happening. I think I missed
facts. People in Canada look good. It's true.
What up, Anthony? How are you? Good to see you over here. Let me see. People
talking about BC, also super gorgeous. Spent a lot of my summers there when I was growing up. Because I have family there.
Facts. What up, Buggy? Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Yes, we Africans make babies. Fertility is high. We got that non-GMO food, laughing my ass off. I'm in the building. What's up, MTR? Does your guest like African men?
Depends on what you mean by that. Because I have friends who are African, but like not necessarily African. So I have friends who are African American.
Mm-hmm. So I think I know like, Boogie, and he's living right now in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Boogie, write something down there below. I think he's living in Africa.
Okay. Let us know, clarify what you mean.
Yeah, but
I mean, like I told you earlier before the stream started, I'm like the United Nations, right?
No, you really are.
My friends, my dating history. You've
been all, and we're gonna get into. I know this is
all around the world.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he said nope, so he's not in Africa. My bad, Buggy. Oh, you're in Boston. Okay, my bad, Buggy. So anyway, so assuming he means African American.
Yes.
So you dated. No, but I think he means like
have I dated one? Yeah.
Boom. Salute, Buggy. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. We gonna get in it though. Let me see. Mark B, what's good, baby? Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Salute, my G, making up for missing the live chat yesterday. Keep up the good work, my G. Mark, you missed the good one last night. We got to have Sam back Sam was saying such things such as there was no negatives about getting married, and was just like dead ass. So it was a fantastic discussion. We're gonna have Sam back again to pressure test a lot of the things that he's saying.
Okay.
A salute, Mark. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Making it rain. MTR guest seems like an alpha seeker. Interesting.
What's an alpha seeker?
Like you want an alpha man in your life. MTR and Lynn talking about all this diversity.
U of Windsor in the building. Hold on, DY. Shout out. I got friends who went to U of Windsor.
Boom. U of Windsor. Yeah, Oh, yeah. MTR, say that again for the people. My Rich Journey is a wealth of information for improvement. Yeah, go subscribe to them. Like, I go back and review a lot of that's the family that's in Lisbon, Portugal. They've retired at 40.
The one you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and they talk about how they live the minimalist lifestyle. Yeah. And then essentially they did everything that they could to live minimally, raising 2 young daughters. Yeah. And then was able to become multimillionaires by 40. And they started at 30. And it tells you all the tips and the tricks. And the thing is, they show you how they did it. And this is not made up. And it's really important that I think a lot of you guys understand that there's ways to become financially independent before with the age that they told you that you might need to be financially independent, which is retirement age. There's ways to do that. And a lot of folks don't understand what those keys are.
And the fact that they started at 30 is pretty impressive also. I just saw somebody say they were from Montreal. Shout out to Montreal.
Listen, I've been to all 3. When I say all 3, so Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. Yeah. I feel like Vancouver to me was much more of like a relationship city. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I felt like it was very picturesque. Like it's super clean. Toronto's clean too, but I feel like Toronto had more city vibes to me.
Yeah, it's more like East Coast vibes, right?
Yeah, there's no Drakes and Tory Lanez coming out of Montreal.
No, but we got other people coming out of Montreal.
Who's coming out of Montreal? It's more French in Montreal. Like I felt like a real French vibe as opposed to Toronto has a much more of an American vibe. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I think North Americans go to Montreal to pretend they're in Europe, and then Europeans go to Montreal to pretend they're in North America. Mm-hmm. It's like very unique in that sense, and you can't get that anywhere else in Quebec. You can't get that in Quebec City. You can't get that like anywhere else. It's like very unique to Montreal.
Yeah, and then Vancouver to me had a little bit more of like a Cali vibe.
Yeah, for sure. It's West Coast, right? Yeah. But I think the issues with dating are very similar based off of what my friends have told me, who do live there and all that kind of stuff.
Listen, we're getting requests in here to do live stream on money. Yeah, we gotta get into it. I'm gonna, the thing is like I'll give you guys. I'm gonna show you guys just real quick, and then we're gonna continue into this discussion. So as I look at, I'll let you guys know something real quick. Boom, take a look at that. Back talk. I've already been thinking about it. Yeah, we're gonna start the live streams at some point, not today, but since y'all in here hanging out with us doing this Red Cup talk, I'm gonna show you guys right now. Look at that. Look at the banners. Look at the overlays. Isn't that cool?
I like how fast you did it too.
You like that?
Super professional.
Oh yeah, you like that girl. You like that girl.
So professional.
Listen, so just giving you guys some insight into what I'm thinking about going into the channel, kind of going into the future.
I think back talk is super important. I'm very passionate about this because financial literacy is super, super important. Yeah. And like we don't talk about money enough in our culture.
Yeah, we don't. We don't talk about it early enough.
Yeah, we don't talk about it with our kids. We teach them about budgeting or whatever, but we haven't been teaching them about how to like build wealth. Yeah. But I think also like people who are teaching their kids may not know themselves, and that's why they haven't taught them. Mm-hmm. It's super important.
Super important.
How to build generational wealth, like dynastic wealth.
Mm-hmm. Dynastic. Yeah. Coming through with the SAT words. I see you.
Not like that, like Lee Kum Kee vibes.
What?
Okay. Lee Kum Kee is like this massive, like Chinese, like sauces company. They're worth like a stupid amount of money, like stupid. And one of the big things that they focus on is like, how do we preserve our like dynasty? Because a lot of times when you start your own business and you become an entrepreneur and you build an empire, what you don't want to have happen, which does happen often, is by the time you hit like the third generation, it's all gone. Or it, you know, ends up being taken out of the family's hands and put somewhere else. And you don't necessarily always want that. Sometimes part of what you may want to do as you build your empire is leave it to your offspring or your family member to, you know, take care of your family, right? So I'm very passionate about financial literacy and try to improve my own every day.
Boom. Me too. Shout out to Buggy Fitness. Thank you so much again for the $5 super chat. Born and raised in Uganda. That's what I knew I remembered something. Had a nightmare last night about Sam being being so blue pill and proud. Made me sick because it gave me bad flashback of my blue pill days. Yeah, Sam was going in last night. You know, he was going in. You know, the thing is like, you know, and what I was trying to make sure that you guys understood, like, because I see a lot of comments down into the channel that are like, they admonish those that have a little bit more blue pill ideologies on like the pre-recorded videos that I do. And people just come through, slam the person who's talking, you know, and then leave the chat. And I think like there's a component of the internet where it doesn't incentivize you not to say whatever you want, you know. And I always say, like, you know, this is actually one of the reasons why, you know, we all had to say goodbye to Kelly. Well, at least they did. I still will talk to Kelly. So, shout out to Kelly. Yeah, shout out to Kelly. But the thing is with Sam is that Sam doesn't care. Like, he legit just doesn't care. He's just like, yeah, I'm blue pill. What's good? But you got to respect that about him. And the thing is that when you talk to him, you ask him about it. Yeah. He knows that it doesn't make sense. Like, he knows. So,
hold on. Quick definition check for me.
Okay, my bad. Blue pill, red pill.
Yeah, blue pill, red pill. Also, who's Sam?
You know what? Let me just show it real quick. I think it's still up on the channel. So while I'm getting this up I don't even think
I saw that.
You saw that? You saw when I posted that?
Yeah. I think it depends on the woman.
It depends on the woman.
Yeah, it depends on the woman.
Let me make sure that they see what I'm looking at. Oh, that's the wrong page. Hold on.
Literally.
Let me delete that. Let me share my screen. Let me go to Chrome tab. You like that, girl? Crazy. We make it. And shout out to everybody that that took a look at the meme earlier and started commenting on it. Also, guys, if you haven't realized, on the community post, you can now reply off of other people's mentions. That's new. Before, only I can reply off of the community chats. Now anybody can reply off of anybody's comments. So they treat the comments in the community post just like on if I upload a video. So feel free to go up there and continue conversations up there as well.
Yo, shout out to Rise Above Lifestyle. So you're saying here, we don't talk about money and culture because it benefits banks, lenders, mortgage brokers, etc. Financially illiterate equals longer career and profits. Totally agree. Facts. Financially illiterate keeps people who don't have wealth unwealthy. Yeah. And you know, that makes me so mad.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like they plan for you to, right? Because like,
it's like systemic oppression.
Well, the thing is like, you know, like a credit card company makes money off of people not understanding finances. Yeah. That's legit. Like, that's how they make money, is you being uneducated on what an interest rate actually is. And how it could be so detrimental when it's not in your favor, but so awesome when it is in your favor. So that's Sam right there. Okay. And we'll just play like a quick clip. Capabilities and understanding. He was going off towards the end, so let me see. No downside to. To be honest, guys, I didn't know how this conversation was going to start.
Was Sam at the party?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay. I was like, he was familiar.
He was supposed to roll.
And I thought that I knew going.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I was trying to get to it, but it was one point where I just like pushed my chair. I was so upset with him. Anyway, so red pill, blue pill, real quick on that, and then I really want to get into the main topic here. Well, we kind of been hitting it in various,
like small bits. I think we have a comment down there.
Hold on one second for me. Let me just make sure I'm getting.
Get Getting everybody
So also you
pumped.
asked about blue pill, red pill.
Oh yeah, you got to define that for me real quick.
Lifestyle official. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
Thank you.
Let me put this up, and then also as you read that and think about an answer to that, let me describe blue pill, red pill real quick. So
okay, tell me.
Here, and everyone has slightly different definitions. So I'm going to define it the way that I know.
Okay.
So you remember, like in the Matrix, you ever see the Matrix?
Yeah.
Back when you were young, Lynn.
Yeah.
And they had the choice between a blue and a red pill. And then what happens when you took the red pill? You got outside the Matrix, and then you got to see the system for what it actually was.
Okay.
So so the analogy is that you take the proverbial red pill, then you get outside the Matrix to see. My definition is human nature. But a lot of people's definition, who's probably looking at this channel, is female nature.
Okay.
But as I say on this channel, whether male or female, that people can be people. You see what I'm saying? So, with that understanding of female nature,
okay,
Sam says things like, on a first date, I'm gonna take her to Roof Chris and spend $200 on her, and I think that's what on that. Come on, look, Lynn is red pill. Look, Lynn is red pill. That's what I'm saying. And I'm just like, dog, why would you do that to waste all your... Right, it's an interview. Take a walk. Go to the park.
See if you'll maybe have vibes or not.
Yeah, check on the vibes first. Or even check if she's dating other people. Because like she could be dating you, and then you end off your night $200 in the hole, and then she goes over to so-and-so's house and continues to get back blown out. Anyway, so I think that there's components within that if you do not understand, then they say that you're blue pill.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Okay. Makes sense?
Makes sense.
Anyway, so getting back to JJ's comment, where can black men meet Asian women outside of work?
Great question. I would say don't go hunting for Asian women specifically, right? Because if you try to force that kind of thing, first of all, like, I think a lot of us, or at least me, I get a little standoffish if somebody comes and tells me like, oh yeah, all of my girlfriends have been Asian, or I only date Asian women. It's creepy to me.
Like an Asian guy telling you that, or you mean a black guy telling you
anyone telling me that?
Oh, okay. Because you think like they fetishize.
Yeah, because there's a lot of fetishization of Asian. Any kind of women. Like black men have been fetishized in media, right?
Yes,
Asian women have been fetishized.
I take advantage of it.
I know some women who take advantage of it too.
Yeah.
So like it's more about like
yellow fever.
Just like meet. I think you should think about it as like meet women outside of work, right? And that's just figure out what your hobbies are and like go do those. And if there are hobbies that can incorporate other people.
But you don't think that he should target. So like if there was an activity that you feel like, like, I don't know, like it's weird. Like it's like people are just people, and you just got to just find people where people are.
Just find a tribe where, cause like, what if you meet an Asian woman and then it's like, oh wait, she does not like any of the same things I do. Then like there's no point, right?
But you think that it's weird that people will target based off of, but so the thing is like some people just may have preferences, or some people can have a preference that's not what they're used to, like they could be like, oh, I want to try something new. Because there's actually like actually a movement on the internet where black dudes are saying they don't want black women. I don't prescribe to that. I still like black women. But there is a whole thing of dudes saying that for a variety of reasons. I don't want to get into.
And I think a lot of women do it too, right? Like I was reading an article about, I think it was in the New York Times or something too. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway, about black women going to Italy and marrying like white Italian dudes. Or there's a ton of Asian women who specifically target white guys. It's weird to me. Oddly enough, I think most of the... What
is that, by the way? Is that
understand or know? Like I've dated white men, I've dated black men, I've dated Asian men, like as Arab men. Again, all United Nations over here.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think like no matter who's doing the targeting, just meet somebody who might have the same interests as you and has a couple of commonalities and maybe a couple of differences that you can explore and discover for yourself as well.
There it is. Well, I think that was a fantastic question. Also, too, it's really geographically specific.
Yeah, that too. Like if you live in like
Cali, you're good.
Yeah, if you live in California, like just go to a rave or something, or like, you know, go do the things you like to do on a regular basis. Join a running group. Somebody's gonna show up.
And also too, like I want to comment on this real quick. I think like if you're born in America, you probably don't have a good understanding of all of the ethnicities in that is considered Asian. At least know that. Like know what is Korean versus Chinese versus Japanese versus Vietnamese. East Asian cultures, Vietnamese, Thai. You have to know all of these things, and like, you know, and the thing is like you start to pick up on different mannerisms within all of them.
It's kind of like calling somebody Asian is like calling somebody African, right? Like that's, are they Nigerian? Are they Ugandan? Are they like South African? Or like calling somebody Hispanic, do you mean someone who's Argentinian versus someone who's Guyanese or somebody from Brazil? Like, it's very different. Like, language is different, culture is different, foods are different.
You see Chronix loved her reaction to back blown out. Yeah.
What did my face look like?
Yeah, I felt her energy. That's why I paused like that. I was checking. She was still with me. She's the Canadian cutie pie. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we don't lose the Lynn. Okay. Shout out to Space 99 Yak. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Red Pill Women Branch for status and money. When he says branch, what that is also is referring to is called monkey branching. And the analogy is sorry, like I was trying not to make eye contact and I made eye contact and she's looking at me like, what is branching?
Which is like really hard considering my eyes get really small when I laugh.
Yeah. But I felt the judgment coming from your eye socket.
No, it's more like I'm trying to understand. Like I'm learning a new word.
Yeah. No, it's listen, this whole Red Pill thing, they have all the bunch of terminologies, pick niches, Chads and Tyrones, like all this terminology. One of them is called branching. Okay. So monkey. So when you watch a monkey swing from tree to tree, it's a lot of branches that young monkey is
pulling a Tarzan.
Yeah, pulling a Tarzan. So the analogy here is that red pill women. I guess he's saying red pill women. You know, they jump from situation to situation, like a monkey jumps from branch to branch.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Interesting.
Yeah. But then they do it for status, attaining money, as opposed to like love. So
are the branches supposed to be like men in a heterosexual context?
Phalluses.
Okay. Is there no like breed of red pill woman who like is reaching from branch to branch, but the branch is like literally her own money?
Well, no, because you know that's the difference. So on one side of the scale you have like a hypergamous woman. Are you familiar with that term? Oh, you learned. See, we're both teaching each other things today. This is the beautiful thing. So like a hypergamous woman is one who believes. So like the definition is like marrying up into a higher class.
I see.
Hypogamy is the opposite, marrying down.
I see.
There's a lot of women who will date for status and wealth, which is taking their particular class and then upgrading that.
Got it.
That's why you see like a lot of dudes who have a lot of wealth, a lot of money, who are not attractive, that have a baddie on their side, have a baddie at their hip.
But is it, hold on. So when we talk about marrying up and marrying down, from a class perspective, do we actually just mean like wealth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't have a caste system in America, so it's not like actual classes, but we're talking about just wealth. So like you could consider it lower class to upper class, to middle class to upper class. Right.
Like from a income perspective or wealth generation perspective.
So, but there's a whole sect of like internet YouTube channels that talk about as a woman, how do you increase your femininity in order to secure the bag?
Okay.
Which means marrying up.
Got it.
So yeah.
Okay.
You're learning a lot today.
Yeah. Granted, I think like in really old times, like that was literally the only way they could like get a promotion, I guess.
So I guess the opposite, I forgot, here's where I was going to conclude. The opposite to that is like our modern independent woman.
Yeah.
Right? Our modern independent woman wants to do it on her own.
Yeah.
you know, goes out, gets an undergrad degree, you know, works for a couple of years, gets a grad degree, does it all their own. And there's, you know, but obviously those two types of goals for your pursuit of happiness are very different lifestyles.
Got it.
And then also the traits that you're probably looking for a mate are different. You see what I'm saying? Because an independent woman is going to be is not looking for a bag come up, right? Like but at the same time, the woman who's looking for the bag come up is also willing to fit more traditional feminine roles within a relationship. So like the guys out there getting the bread, the paper, you know, he comes back home and, you know,
brings
the cooks,
home the bacon,
he brings home the bacon and then she cooks it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then also she's a bit of a trophy.
Okay.
You know, like she doesn't have to work. Maybe she's at home taking care of the kids. Much more traditional kind of lifestyle as opposed to an independent woman, because the dynamic of who's bringing home the paper is probably a little bit more closer to 50-50.
Yeah.
The roles start to get a little bit updated or innovated for 2020.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of my friend couples are in like a variety of different types of relationships where maybe both are earning around the same, or like he's earning way more than her, but she's also still very like career minded. Both of them split the like domestic duties, let's call them.
And do they split it specifically because of who earns what? I probably asked that incorrectly. So I'm saying do you think that the determinant of how they split duties is incumbent on who brings home the bacon? And it seems like it's 50% who brings home the money. So therefore the roles are kind of more even.
I think there's an element of truth to that. Like you're just splitting, like, because you have so many resources: time, money, and effort, right? Like those are the three resources you have at your disposal.
Facts.
So when you're single, like, dude, I got to work with what I have, right?
Right.
Sometimes I don't have much time to do all of my chores, or like cook, for example, and I might use my money to go outsource that, right? That way I save time and I save effort.
Facts.
When you're together.
Yeah. Keep going. I don't want to interrupt.
It's still the same situation, right? Like you've got two people. Both of you still have to eat. Both of you still have to live. Both of you still need your laundry done. And like, I'm assuming you're living together, but your resources are still time, money, and effort. And yeah, while maybe your money has doubled or money has increased a little bit more, and maybe your collective time has increased more, but your like costs or expenditures have now doubled because there's two of you. Yeah. Right. And so you have to find a way to split the work so that it works for you.
Yeah, I like the way that you break that down, because you've put foresight, right, into kind of understanding the roles between two people in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think we sometimes we get into the topic and we've seen it kind of talked about it in different ways on the internet. Like, you know, a man may ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? And a woman might say, well, I am the table, or like something to that degree, or what have you. And my thing is like a lot of people don't understand what their value is, right? And not understanding what it is that they contribute to bring something to help that a partnership make a little bit more sense. Because in my eyes, if 1 + 1 doesn't equal 3, then why do it? Because if 1 + 1 = 2 in a relationship, then like I can be happy and do this all on my own. You see what I'm saying? But when you combine together, and if you could do more together than you could apart, then that helps. And if you can take off of my plate all the things that I'm wasting time, because I'm much more valuable out in the streets.
Yo, it's like bartering skills.
Yeah, I'm much more valuable. But me over here cooking and cleaning, that's not where I rely best on, right? So like, but a lot of that money might go towards a chef, and might go towards a maid, and might go to these other things.
Yeah.
But
I outsource my cleaning once a month.
Listen, I used to outsource my cleaning as well, but I had a hookup. I was paying $20 for someone to come in once a month and clean my bathroom, just my bathroom.
Oh, just your bathroom. Okay.
Because I hated cleaning my bathroom. I hate cleaning my bathroom.
Okay. I have I used to just clean my my whole like apartment by myself or with my roommate. You know, either of us would do it. But then one time I paid for a deep clean, and I was like, oh my gosh, we came home. They're faster than us at it. They're better than us at it because they're professionals.
Facts.
And that time that we use to clean, that we don't do and a super amazing job of, we could use that time to go do something else that generates more wealth, or generates more enjoyment of my time. So obviously being able to afford it is important, but I've learned to outsource tasks, not just things.
Listen, I'm learning as well. Like even like with this YouTube channel, I'm thinking about outsourcing different activities. Like I'm gonna think about getting an editor, as well. And I'm gonna start having conversations starting next week in order to figure out how I can do that. Because literally I'm up to the wire of what I can produce with what I have. Now, if I had someone by my side who was willing to edit as well as cook and clean, and that's when the 1 + 1 = 3. Yeah. Because so it's like, well, what is your skill sets like how are you teaching each other things? How are you pushing each other forward? And a lot of people don't want to have that conversation. They just think that like, yo, I love you, you love me, let's just make this thing a thing.
It's about how do we enhance each other's lives.
Facts.
And it may not always necessarily be like a skill or a thing, right? Sometimes it's, oh, this person makes me laugh a lot and I don't know how to really.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, they make me feel peaceful, or they make me just really enjoy my time living life. Or they're a great the best travel companion I've ever had. They, force me to try new foods or whatever it is. It's not always kind of like hard skills or hard facts. They can be like other not so measurable, tangible types of things.
I see Quee says, yes, it's the actions, not the words.
It's kind of like your friendships,
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to say my best travel buddies is my boys.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But like at the same time, we'll get into it. So what up, Buggy? Thank you so much again for the $2 super chat. Your guest is smart.
Thanks.
She needs a Ugandan like me. Shout out to Buggy. That's his pictures down there too, if you want to take a look. Oh, look at her. Look, she's getting all up in it.
Boogie's gotten through a transformation.
Uh-oh.
Body transformation right there. Congratulations.
Congrats. He's a personal trainer as well. Shout out to Kwame.
Kwame's got a crush on your super. Oh, wait, that's a joke.
I got a crush on my career. Thank you so much, Kwame. Appreciate the $5 super chat.
Yeah, don't crap where you eat, guys.
Yes, sir. You're the Canadian cutie pie, because you know what I say? Don't where you eat. You said don't crack?
Don't crap.
Crap. Oh, you did say crap. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Michael Bennett. He's trying to warn the fellas in the chat. Don't be fooled, fellas. She's a feminist. I'm the streets, but craves oppression in the sheets. The hyper independent talk is all fugazery. Wait, hold on. Let me reread this one again. She is a feminist. Would you identify as a feminist?
Yeah.
Now, when you identify as that, like, there's different waves of feminism.
I'm not out here burning my bra. Like,
I think so. I think you are out here saying equal pay, equal rights. But
I'm not saying like, hey, I'm going to do a shittier job than you, but expect the same pay. That's not equal rights.
Okay.
That's shittier rights for you.
Yeah. No, I get you. But in terms of like, my bad. I just saw another super chat come in. My bad, guys. It's throwing me off. But in terms of like, how would you describe your level of like when you say yes, I am a feminist. Like, what does that mean to you?
To me, that means I believe that female people or like females are on equal footing as males. We're just as important.
Yeah,
we deserve the same human rights. I'm not saying, hey, let's do some unfair stuff at the detriment of males in order to advance females. No, what I'm saying is we just want to be like, y'all are here and we're here. Wait, hold on. Where's the camera? And yeah, y'all are here and we're here. We just want to be here, but we don't want to be like this. Does that make sense?
I hear you. And the thing is so like, I'm going to do a whole video on this because I was looking at an Instagram post the other day and it was talking about that we live in a patriarchy. And I think I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I think that there's sexism.
Yeah.
I think sexism exists. I don't think we live in a patriarchy, because a patriarchy to me would assume that there's no that men are superior, that men, I don't think no one in their right mind believes that one gender is more superior than the other. I think we both have different qualities.
Yeah. Yes.
You see what I'm saying? That we can all bring to the table.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think that this is inherently a patriarchy because men are disadvantaged in certain things as well.
Okay.
So do I think that it's a patriarchy? No. Do I think that there's degrees of sexism in our society? Yes. Similarly, I think that there's degrees of racism in society.
Absolutely.
And it affects people in a myriad of different ways.
Very true.
How about you? What do you think? Do you think there's a patriarchy? Talk to me, girl. And I don't want to get too far off topic unless you guys want us to go into the feminist talk.
I feel like we got to get Gloria Steinem up in here to talk about this.
Who the hell is that?
She's a very prominent feminist.
We get her up in here. We're going to demolish
she's like actually
her.
Educated in these like topics, right?
Yeah.
I do want to address one thing though. Michael, just because she's a feminist in the streets doesn't mean she can't crave oppression in the sheets.
Oh!
And just because he's an alpha on the streets doesn't mean he doesn't want to have his face slapped in the sheets either.
Oh! You've seen that?
What?
Like tough dudes in the streets, but then behind closed doors, they're like.
I've been reading about sexuality and like, if you watch some of the Netflix documentaries, there's a lot of topics about this of how people, project who they are, but then like they crave something else when they're
like
privacy. And privacy, and it's totally understandable.
I haven't seen the documentary. I might need to look at the documentary so we can go in on it.
There's a lot of writings about this. Like, and I'm not talking about like fiction. I mean like actual research studies, science.
I thought you was gonna bring up a personal story of a young man who you choked. You choked and he liked it.
And I beat him with a riding crop, you guys.
Oh gosh.
I'm totally kidding.
Lynn. I don't know if she is. I'll be honest. Shout out to Demetrius.
Thank you, Demetrius.
Hurry up.
Hold on. Can I press the button?
Go ahead, girl. Press it.
Hold on.
Air horn. Keep going. Again. Salud, D. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to my Patreon. Yo, my Patreon. Yo, you guys come through and show so much love and support. I wholeheartedly, my bad, I forgot the mic was in my face. I wholeheartedly appreciate each and every one of you. But D, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, my G. But no words. Usually D has something that he puts down in there. It's all good, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Space 99 Yak. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You want to read that one, Lynn?
So Space 99 Yak, shout out $4.99. Thank you for supporting.
That's Yak, right? Is that Canadian? No. You guys like mooses. Never mind.
Yes, we do like moose.
Where's a yak? Was that like a?
There's yaks in Turkey, I know.
Okay. It's like a Middle East animal.
And I don't know where. I think they also exist in South America. We should look this up. Actually, I don't want to spread fake news.
All right, no fake news here.
Okay, so Space 99 Yak says women want equality in the boardroom, not in the bedroom. They want equality in the workforce with men, but want their men to have higher status and money. That's
goddamn true.
Okay.
What do you think about that? In my eyes, so I'm looking at the second part of the sentence.
Yeah.
Generally, for what I've seen, like women generally like men, no matter the ethnicity, the culture that either make the same amount of money than them, but more often than not, they look for dudes who make more money than them. And I think that there's a component of genetics that kind of play into that.
Okay. At what point do you have that conversation, like while you're dating, to be like, so how much money do you make? Like,
some it's immediately.
No.
Yeah. There's dating websites that specifically target men with money. Yeah, you didn't know?
That website get like leaked or something?
Oh yeah, that was years ago. That was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like the one for a sugar daddy website. Yeah. No, but it was it was specific for married men. Like specifically affairs and stuff. Yeah, that's what it was. Of like man, so it was a lot of married dudes with a lot of money up there paying for thoughts to come through and slap on their knob. Okay, like corn of a cob. So I mean, I guess I want to start with the boardroom bedroom part. I think we want
equity in the boardroom? Because not everybody wants to be in the boardroom, right?
Ashley Madison. They're putting it
Oh
out.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, facts. Ashley Madison.
Not you
I'm
know,
gonna put it back on.
not everybody wants to be in the boardroom either, right? Like I know people who are like, listen, I just want to be like, I don't want to be up here. I just want to get to like here, and then I'm good because there's other things. There are other things I want to pursue in life that I wouldn't be able to if I went all the way up here.
You mean like a family?
Yeah, whether it's a family or a hobby or a side business, whatever it is. Or, you know, I want to spend more time with my parents, or I want to be vacationing more often, and I don't want to have to be working on weekends.
You know what? Let me just comment on that real quick. I'm actually there. I'm at the point now where, guys, I've set up my life where I've made very calculated decisions. Yeah. And now I'm at a point now where if I look at the 9 to 5, I'm like looking up, like the roles above me. And I'm like, Does it grind your gears enough? Like, does it put fire in your belly enough for you to like, I don't know, because it's always someone else's ish. Yeah. It's not my own, which is why I spend so much extra time back here working on, the brand and working on creating a community and all these different things.
And spreading your knowledge too. I think that's really important. Like,
and spreading your knowledge. Oh, you know what I mean?
I think I've been like learning more from the experience than anything else.
It's okay. No, we're learning too, because I think you might discount all of the things that you know as like just being worldly thing. And I think we also got to double back into the back talk conversation, like later on in the conversation. We'll probably do like another 50 minutes, guys. I'm trying to keep live streams to 2 hours. No more 4, 5, 6 hour live streams from now on. I'm a chatty Cathy. No, it's not hard. It's easy to have a conversation with you. It's hard when I feel like I gotta rip information out the person that's sitting down over here, but it's not hard to rip it out of you. But guys, we'll be going on. You go for another 45 minutes or so? Yeah. Okay, cool. Because it is Saturday. It's actually pretty nice outside. I'm not sure if you had any plans.
Yeah, my plans was this.
Facts. Do you feel like we sufficiently attacked this one?
No, because I know women who haven't dated men with higher status and money and continue to date those men or married those men. Mm-hmm. I think, I think status is kind of a constructed term too, right? Like, what does status really mean? Is it that I think it's just money. They have certain title, or is it that they're in a certain profession? Well, right.
Let me give you some quick examples. Okay. So like, status. So like, there's some city council positions that probably pay less than 6 figures, but they're public in nature. Yeah. Right. So there's a degree of status there. Yeah. Or like, let's say, like a newscaster, who's on the news every night. There's a status there, even though they don't make a lot of money, at least in 2020, because of the dawn of the internet. So like a male newscaster may have status, but doesn't have like maybe all the money that's associated with that. But I think that there's a degree of status and money that like generally you don't like. I've seen more often than not women that, because they want a degree. Like when I said like it's kind of more genetic, like I think women want the best situation to have a degree of security, like long-standing and consistent security and protection provided. Okay. And the best way to be able to do that is with a man of means or higher means of then. So then they can take off of work and then raise children, or at least have the option to.
Okay. Or at least equitable means of some sort, right? Like, so you mentioned, for example, someone who might be in public service and definitely may not be making as much money as her, but is slightly higher in status, right? Those kind of like even out, and that those things might make it equitable to where her position is. So equal, but not necessarily equal. They just.
So you're saying it kind of evens out?
Yeah, it evens out in a sense.
Yeah, no, I think it doesn't even out, because I think that I see what you're saying, but I think that
or like they might be like a way cooler person, and that evens it out too.
So like other factors that you're I think the way that you're thinking about it, I think the way that you're thinking about it is, here's the thing. I'm gonna put my own little spin on it as well. I think most of what you guys see, a lot of like the ones that want to do it specifically for status and wealth, it's either people who are really lazy and just want a shortcut, or those that come from very much lower socioeconomic means. Okay. And I say that because I know, like the cutoff for happiness with money,
Yeah.
like there's a cutoff, right? Like, and for every extra $10,000 that you make over a certain amount of money, your relative degree of, or your incremental degree of happiness goes down significantly.
Yeah,
right? Rich people commit suicide too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like rich people are people too, right? Like, and just because they make a lot of money doesn't mean they keep a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Wealth is about your assets, not about your income. So even if you're making six figures, well, if you're spending all of it, or if you're like living in California, 100K barely gets you. It's like barely gets you past the poverty line, right? Poverty over there would be like 80K.
In San Fran, yeah.
Whereas in certain other cities, it's like you're living large in 80K, right?
And a lot of it too is perceived wealth. So there's a lot of dudes who have, something shiny out in the front of their yard, but they used credit in order to get it. You see what I'm saying? Like, right? Like, there's a lot of dudes out there that wear t-shirts to work every day, and they're in the mid to high six figures. You see what I'm saying? Like, so there's a perception there of status, also drawn by outwardly facing things and shiny objects. But really, you're not wealthy. You live paycheck to paycheck, and you have to ride this hamster wheel unless you sell this stuff. You see what I'm saying?
I think in a future like bag talk video, you should talk about like the usage of credit though, because like I had a very different attitude towards credit when I was younger, where I was scared of credit, I was scared of debt, and now I have a very different attitude towards it because like credit is a very powerful tool, and kind of is something that I think wealthy people use to their advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Debt is something they use to their advantage. So I think that's a different.
Yeah, no, that's a whole different video. And I think and you watch Dave Ramsey, you know who that is? So he just tells. So the audience that he targets is most Americans that don't even understand wealth. Yeah. So for them, he says, don't ever have it, which is good advice. Yeah. Because
up until a certain point.
Up until a certain point. Yeah. But most of America is not at that point.
Yeah.
Most of the America is living paycheck to paycheck. So they don't have an idea of how to leverage credit.
Because getting out of that hole is really, really tough. I read a statistic, like a staggering amount of American families. Salud.
Shout out to Willie Handy 79. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. We should do a cheers soon.
Like right now?
Like right now.
Salud.
Salud. Salud. Red Cut Talk. Loud. Hit him, Lynn. Hit him, Lynn.
Boom, boom. I'm sorry, I didn't do
it. Boom, boom. She says, salute everybody in the chat. Hope y'all enjoying the talk tonight. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, I read some staggering statistic about how most American families cannot afford a surprise $400 bill. $400.
Yeah. Don't have an emergency fund.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people can't because of expenses they have in their life that cannot be avoided.
Facts. Yeah. I'm starting doing a whole series about, the steps that you have to take in order to build wealth. Like I get questions, people emailing me all the time about, yo, bro, I'm like 20 years old. Like, what should I invest in? Or and I think as long as you follow simple frameworks, right? Like, you don't, right? Like anything that's a get rich quick scheme is not, it's a scam. It's a scam. Anything that's quick or anything listen, your alarm bell should go off if people are like, yo, if you come do this, like, look at all of this extra money that you could get, or yo, invest in this stock. Like you can't time the market. You can't time the stock market. You can't. We're getting into a bag talk video.
Yeah, we are getting into that. Let's go back.
Let's go back. Let's see some of the most closest comments that we have going out here and see what's going on. I don't know. Let me see. Men want beautiful, submissive women. Women want successful men with resources. Beth, first time seeing you here. Appreciate you joining us. We got another lady down in there for you, Lynn.
Thanks for joining me on the journey.
Canadian cutie pie. It's a good thing you're taking the place of the old cutie pie.
I can't take the place of the old cutie pie.
She's the Midwestern cutie pie.
She is the Midwestern cutie pie.
I guess also getting back to the original topic of the video. So thinking towards intercultural. What does that word mean to you? If you can help define what that is, and we're gonna have a continual conversation on top of that.
Okay. To me, did somebody just sing opera on the street
There's
while
people
they're walking
outside.
past?
Yeah, I don't think that they can hear that.
Oh.
But yeah, that's why I look back like, what's going on out there?
To me, intercultural dating is really like dating between cultures. And when I say culture, I mean like not the color of your skin necessarily. It's like how you feel on the inside, right? So somebody who's dating somebody who's from the East Coast of America dating somebody from the southern part, like the southern states.
Yeah.
Those are two different cultures, right? That's intercultural dating. Someone who like, you know, if I were to date somebody who was straight up from like Asia or Hong Kong even, or somewhere in China, that's intercultural dating, right?
Got it.
Because like what they feel on the inside is different, slightly different from what I feel on the inside.
So, okay, so let me just get this straight. So like, you know, me being, you know, like 75% African American.
Yeah.
Right. So like me growing up in New York, it's different intercultural dating than someone else who's like 100% African American and she is from Cali. Yeah. It's a different culture associated with, even though we're both Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I would consider that intercultural.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because like how your mannerisms, your customs, your traditions may be different.
Yeah. And okay.
And I was thinking about this like
they did here
while I was coming over.
The opera.
They were hitting them.
This new mic is powerful. Come on. It's a good mic. Anyway, go ahead. You said as you were coming over.
Yeah, as I was coming over, I was thinking about like my dating experiences, and I thought to myself, you know, it's always been easier for me to date someone who's Canadian.
Oh, talk about it.
Simply because there's like a mutual understanding without even thinking about it when it comes to like cultural customs or like the holidays you celebrate, attitudes towards like marriage and dating and like physical stuff. Yeah,
because y'all go Dutch on dates.
Not always.
Not always?
Yeah, but I think more often than you do here.
Yeah, I think it's my experiences with dating Canadian women is they are more apt to when the bill or the check comes by, like they're taking out their, hey, what's up? How much does it cost? Yeah. I've experienced that a lot more than in America. The culture here, I think, is very much that the man.
He's expected to. Like it's almost as if like, you know, you're entitled to have the other person pay for the first date, which like back home, it's nice when the other person pays. It's like really nice when the other person pays for the first date. And I've certainly had, you know, people insist and say like, no. I'm the dude. I will pay for the first date in Canada. But I've also gone Dutch and it's totally fine.
Let me ask you a question. Like, when does the line stop, right? Because, like, let's say, you know, I'm from New York, but yet meet someone in Jersey, right? Like, that's just a state away. Is that intercultural dating? Because the culture can be a little bit true.
It could be.
I mean,
like different. Could be a little different, right? Like, could be way different.
I read the word true from Greg as I said that. That's what threw me off.
Greg. Okay, so here's an interesting comment. He said, not true. Canadian women are very much Americanized. I think it also depends on where you are too, right? Like if dating in Montreal, like women do all the work. I think that's part of the reason why men love going to Montreal so much, other than the fact that like it's cool, you're in a different place, it's kind of like romantic, it's kind of sexy. Everybody's super good looking, everyone's really well put together, everyone's really well dressed, even if they're like not the hottest looking in the face, like they've got like sexy energy.
In Montreal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But like a lot of the women do the work. Like they're coming up to you and they're hitting on you and they're saying like, yeah, I want to grab a beer, or like, hey, I want to go grab a drink, or
and the women will buy you a drink.
Not always. Not
always.
I'm like 50-50 on that. But it's more like they're more not aggressive, but like
forward.
Yeah, they're a little more forward.
Well, you know,
and sometimes that's nice, right? Like,
yeah, not to always be the complete and utter hunters. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have, you know, a dynamic that allows for a little bit more, you know, dope dynamic. You know, I say that too about like Southern women in the United States. Like, I feel like every time that I'm going down to like in Atlanta or Texas, like I feel like the women are a lot more aggressive. in terms of like getting to like I was in San Antonio for work, and I was sitting at a dinner table with my coworkers, and I had 2 different women come up to my table, literally 2 different women at different times during that dinner, come up to my table and try to strike up a conversation with me while my coworkers were sitting there. And let me tell you, like my coworkers were like looking at me like an animal. Like after that, they were just like, dude, who are you? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? But apparently, the Spanish women in San Antonio, apparently I'm attractive to them. So I'm actually thinking to myself, like, man, should I go just move down there? You know what I'm saying? It'll be a lot more easier to get it.
Saw an interesting, this is an interesting comment from Diego.
You want to read it out loud, girl?
Intercultural dating is about individual values and attitudes. Similarities and differences are more heightened. That's a great definition. It's a great definition.
Shout out to Diego.
Yeah.
Similarities and differences are more heightened. Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
That's a great definition.
I mean, you cross the border from like New York over to New Jersey, culture is different. You know, and you kind of see the difference more. Like I went on a couple of dates with a Chinese American dude a couple years ago, and like it was just so different. I was like, you know, even though I expected differences, it was still like really different in terms of just attitudes towards certain things, or like because they're American on the inside and I'm Canadian on the inside, so there's inherently just cultural differences in terms of attitudes towards like relationships, or attitudes towards like sex, attitudes towards like work and all that kind of stuff.
I just want to comment real quick that during this entire conversation, I have not heard one A.
A?
That's the first one. I'm surprised. You're starting to become Americanized.
You know what? I was talking to my best friend, total tangent. My best friend lives in London, and she grew up in Eastern Europe. She's been living in the UK for like 4 years now. And as we're traveling together over the past few years, we've realized that she's taken on more Englishisms and I've taken on a lot more Americanisms when we speak. It's like super weird, but also kind of inevitable, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is it weird though? Because it's, you know, you're just kind of acquiescing to the culture that you're currently residing in. Yeah,
like you're, you know, absorbing parts of the culture. And I think I absorbed, that happens no matter where you go, right? Like when I moved to Montreal, I absorbed a certain way of speaking, or I absorbed like certain words or saying certain words that I never would have said. So for example, instead of saying Montreal or Quebec, I don't say those. I say Montreal and Quebec. Or instead
it's not Quebec?
No.
Oh.
Or like instead of saying poutine, which is what most Torontonians would say, I
Putin.
say poutine.
Oh.
So there's just like little things you pick up, or like a corner store to me is the Dep.
You know what a corner store is to me?
What?
Bodega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. Or when I moved to Tunis, like I came home and like even like 10 years later, I'm still thinking to myself, like, you know, oh, like it'll be a sunny day tomorrow, inshallah. Like, you know, those are just little things that stick with you as you move from place to place.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, you know, now that we have airplanes that go different places, it's like, you know, the opportunity to and also just the internet in general, like, you know, there's people that's watching right now that are in a completely different part of the world. Like I feel like language is going to change significantly. Like there used to be much more of like, you know, I feel like there's people that's growing up in the Midwest that have New York accents because of what they subject themselves to on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like even some folks that are watching me right now and they hear my accent. You know what's funny is I go back to New York and they'll be like, bro, where did your accent go? And I'm like, I'm sorry, you know? But meanwhile here, I feel like everyone here is like, yo, you sound like you from NY, da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, I go back there and be like, you sound different.
Yeah, that happens to me too. The way I've changed in the way I speak is that the intonation is more exaggerated. And I think it's because American culture is very like polarized, like very black and white. Male or female, gay or straight, like very well defined in that sense, and people get like uncomfortable when things aren't well defined. So even in the way you speak, the intonation let's say when you're asking a question, you dip in the beginning before you have that upward inflection at the back. Whereas like English people, for example, and this is like a real live example for my best friend, when she asks a question, she doesn't have that dip in the front. She just has the statement and then a small inflection at the end. And that's the question.
Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever taken trips because of the culture of the men in that city?
No.
Oh.
Why would I do that?
I can't say the same for myself.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Well, I go all over.
Okay.
But like, yeah, when I take all these trips, like you already know, like I told you earlier, like I'm planning on go to Colombia.
Yeah.
And it's because like we want to experience the culture.
Yeah.
You know, we want to.
Okay, and the people are part of the culture.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I mean, I go to experience culture, generally more food culture, but people are part
You're
of
a foodie?
Yeah, but people are part of the food experience, right? Like
no.
The interaction you have with your servers, the interaction you may have.
I see what you're saying.
Like with other people, other diners around you. Because like a lot of times I travel alone, or I'll eat alone because it's fun. I'll sit there and have like a 3-hour meal by myself.
Well, there's not wrong with that.
Yeah, I did that. I did that all weekend in Philly, like last fall. It was amazing.
Where'd you go in Philly, just real quick?
Zahav.
Okay.
And then I went to another restaurant that was Vernick. That was really, really good.
Did you get your cheesecake on?
I did not get my cheesecake on. I got all my other.
Cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak? No. You know what? I skipped the cheesesteak. I was like, there's got to be other. It felt too cliche. It felt like
it's super cliche. I don't even know, like and they're not even that. Like they're okay.
Like it felt cliche. I was like, I gotta experience the other things it has to offer. Yeah. And like Zahav, like is named America's Best Restaurant, like James Beard Awards, which I trust a little more than the Michelin Awards.
Tell them, Lynn.
Yeah.
Tell them, Lynn.
Food perspective, and everybody's super friendly.
Yeah.
The food's super amazing. Like it's a whole like just fresh, good food.
Real quick, Maurice, already been there.
Guarantee you'll enjoy Thailand more than Colombia.
Yeah, let me talk about Thailand real quick. I'm gonna do entire videos about Thailand, and I honestly like I'm thinking about just making it just like Patreon stuff, and also Colombia. That might be as well. Like I went to Thailand for my 30th birthday, so I'm 34 now. So that was 4 years ago.
Okay.
And took my 2 other best friends in life. Now here was the plan.
Okay.
The plan was, well, we're going to be over there, and this is a once in a lifetime type of a trip because of the distance away.
Yeah.
And so why don't we go to a bunch of different countries over there? So here was the plan: Bangkok, Phuket,
okay,
Singapore,
okay,
back to Bangkok, and then take the trip back. We did Bangkok,
okay,
Phuket,
okay,
and never left.
Nice.
Never left. We lost out on all the money of the hotels and the flights to the other places because we love Phuket so much. It was so like the culture was just, we were just so shocked. Have you been to Thailand?
I've not been to Thailand.
It's amazing. It's
on my list of like bucket list of places to go.
You gotta go.
Because like, it's Thailand's like the king of massage and durian.
Facts.
Like I love durian.
Wait, what's that?
It's a fruit. It's a really stinky, spiky
brown
fruit. It smells so bad, but it tastes so good.
How you spell this?
Durian. It's like super smelly. Singapore has like laws against carrying a durian into the subway because it smells bad.
What the hell is that? Hold on, I'm gonna bring it up on the screen for y'all.
It is.
Oh, that looks nasty.
It is the king of fruit.
Hold on, let me bring this over so they have an understanding of what's going on. You guys,
delicious.
At least I'm learning something. You guys didn't think you'd be learning something on a Saturday night.
Oh man.
Hold on, let me.
The best comes from Thailand.
Durian. Do you see that up here? Am I tripping? Google search.
The first one.
Oh, I missed it. There it is. Look at this crap.
So
Ew, Lynn, you nasty. Lynn, you nasty. Ew, look at this one.
It's so good. So no. So that's the inside. So like the spiky brown part is the outside. Yeah, you gotta crack the shell, and the inside it's like this ooey gooey like goodness and like milkshakey, creamy consistency type of goodness.
Dude,
It's so good.
That looks disgusting.
It smells really gross too. It's so good.
It smells. If anything smells gross, I feel like it should not be eaten.
So good. Hold on, Diego has a question.
Shout out to Diego.
Thank you, Diego.
Thank you so much for the $5 super chat again, my G.
Okay, he has a question.
What do you? Oh, also, guys, go up and like the video. I'm not sure how many likes that we have. Actually, I can go see them right here. Let me go see what's going on. So,
okay, well, you see that while I address the question. So he's asking, what do you think makes such relationships successful? What are some compromises and non-compromises you'd say will make this work? Wait, which types of relationships? Can you?
He says we're talking about intercultural.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's the same as like any other relationship, right? Like in the sense of communicating and understanding other person's needs and understanding what you need, being able to like say that, right? I think maybe you have to be extra diligent about kind of communicating those needs too, and trying to understand each other. It's like I have a cousin. He lives in southern China. He's from southern China. Mm-hmm. He's like a distant cousin. I met him for the first time like 4 or 5 years ago. For the first time, and he was a newlywed. They had a 1-year-old baby, mm-hmm. and he was telling me like, so he married a northern girl, like somebody from northern China, which has very different culture. Regionally, they speak different languages, but they both speak one common language as mm-hmm. well. So they're able to communicate that way, but because their food's a little different, their customs and culture are a little different. So you have to work. He was saying like he just has to work a little extra hard mm-hmm. To like communicate with her so that he understands what her needs are, and he understands or she understands him, and that they can kind of reach common ground, which again is very similar to any other type of relationship you have in life. I think you have to put in a little extra work, and sometimes too there's like other people who are outside of the circle of the relationship who believe they're part of the relationship and try to weigh in too, right? Like how many Facts. Parents I've heard who are opposed to like their kid dating somebody outside of quote unquote the culture, whatever that may mean, because they think it'll never work, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, like, did they spend the time to understand who this person that their child is interested in is?
What do you think about this comment right here? And I know as I just read it, this is going to be uniquely new to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Effective communication is critical and difficult for most people.
Facts.
True. Now read that second part of the sentence.
One thing that never changes as a man, though, is never to be too revealing to women.
How you feel about that?
Well, why is that?
I knew you were going to say that because that's incredibly new information.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. There's men out there that take the weight of the world, put it on their shoulders, and don't talk about their feelings.
Yeah.
Often there's men that's down in this chat that have suffered from at times where they let their feelings go. It was used against them.
That sucks. I've had that happen to me too in a friendship with another woman.
So women do that.
Yeah, they do. And I think a lot of women also like aren't too revealing with their own feelings too. I was one of those people who
really,
like, you know, you're scared to be hurt, so you are scared to really reveal what your true feelings are or fully reveal your feelings. Even sometimes to yourself, you may not know, right? Sometimes if you can't identify what you're feeling, well, I can't communicate that, right? And you know, that caused a lot of problems with my friends where they'd be like, Lynn, what are you feeling right now? How are you doing? And I couldn't articulate it to them. Or sometimes it comes from a place of protection, right? And how many men do I know in my life who wouldn't reveal their full stresses because they were trying to protect their families or protect their parents or whoever it is, right? I've certainly done that where because I'm the eldest child, I take on the responsibility of being the eldest, and understanding that I, you know, will take care of my parents, will take care of my siblings or my sibling and my cousins, that I may not tell them everything because I want to shield them from worrying. because I know what my mom's like when she worries. I know what my dad's like when he worries. I don't want them to worry. So sometimes you shoulder that yourself.
So what do you tell like to men that like, you know, feel like that they have to shield others from the BS that might be going around them, and especially when they feel like they have to do that as being a man, right? But then also too, some of them have experienced that, you know, if they do share, that information gets used against them for whatever.
Yeah, that's two different camps, right?
It's two different camps, but both tell a man not to
share feelings, which I think is, you know, not too good, because nobody can really, if you bottle things up inside too long, it'll kill you. It literally will.
I haven't told you this, but I've talked about this in the channel before. Like, I'm actually going to start do therapy.
Okay.
As well, great. Because I talk about the importance of mental health on the channel.
Yeah.
And it's something that I don't feel like I am equipped to really talk about until I put myself through that. And I'm
gotta practice what you preach.
I'm putting myself as a test dummy in order to go through it so I can have an official opinion about it. And the thing is, I'm happy as hell 99.99999% of my day.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not I've never been on like a mental health medication.
Yeah.
I'm generally super duper happy. I love the hell out of life, but I feel like I can't do myself, like I am doing a disservice to having a channel that talks to majority men.
Yeah.
And I'm not also, and I talk about mental health and how it's important, and then not go through help with a mental health specialist.
Yeah.
To point a finger at things that maybe I don't even know is a problem.
There's also a lot of stigma around it too, right? Like, people have to realize that going to therapy it's not like only sad people go to therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs like an outlet. Everybody needs somebody to talk to help sort out who they are, what they are, how they feel on the inside. And like that it's not like you stay in one state and then you're just good there, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it flows over time. And just because you go to therapy does not mean you failed, doesn't mean you're a shitty person, does not mean you've got like a bad character or whatever. Like, it's pretty flippin' common. Pretty common.
Yeah, it's you know, it's just one of those things. It's just like, it's not talked about enough. And when we do talk about it, I feel like you know, there's a lot of folks out there just like, you know, man up, that whole man up thing. And you know, if you look at the suicide rates of men, I think that it's correlated to us feeling like we do have the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Yeah.
And we keep things bottled up, and that can affect our mental health as well.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially like men who feel like they have to, who are shouldering a whole family, right? Like, you know, you've got a lot of stuff on your shoulders. You come home and then you've got somebody on your ass about like, here, I've got this kid for like 8 hours. It's yours now. You figure it out. It's your turn. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, it gets tough to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, talk about your stresses and your feelings and what you're scared about. Mm-hmm. And also because we stigmatize like the feeling of feeling scared when we're talking about it in a male context. I think Brené Brown has written a lot about this, you know, about men being shamed for feeling sad or scared, when really the bravest thing you can do is admit that you're scared about something, right? And I think that like, if you're in a relationship with anyone, like if it's like somebody you're dating, a romantic partner, a friend, a parent, like any sort of relationship, depending on that type of relationship, if they're like truly your friend and your partner in life, it's somebody that, you know, you should be able to open up to and say like, I need help. Can you help me with X, or just make me laugh right now? Or come watch this movie with me. It would make me feel better.
Yeah, well, the thing is, and also, I feel like what would also help the discussion is, you said that it happened to you, where a young woman took information that you let out to her.
Yeah.
If you were to look back on that situation, what were the personality traits within her where you would have gotten an inkling that she was capable of that? And I want you to think about that real quick, but I want to acknowledge some of these chats that just came through.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of these ones down here.
Shout out to Robert. If having a physical outlet helps. Listen, I don't know what type of human being I'd be if I couldn't lift up heavy weights.
Yeah.
Facts.
Lifting helps.
Shout out to Marcus Barnett. I have a list of meds. I've also been 302 multiple times. I'm not sure what 302 means.
What is 302?
However, Marcus, I know we've talked as well. Keep going, keep fighting,
Yeah.
never stop. Keep improving yourself as well. Jonathan says, if a man can't tell his friends his feelings, he needs new friends. Facts. Factual. So also real quick, so let me scroll down to the bottom. And then also, so I think what would really help in the conversation, because, there's a lot of dudes who just assume that all women will use information against them if they let their heart out.
Yeah, right.
As you being a representation of women, I want to
heavy weight on my shoulders.
Yeah, but it's a heavyweight, but I walk around with the weight all day.
Damn.
I'm not.
Why the shoulders are so broad?
You like that, girl? Go ahead. I've been working on them. Come on.
Yeah.
Show them respect.
Did we all buy the tickets? We all bought the tickets. We all bought the tickets.
Oh, sorry.
I literally.
Were you scared?
No.
Were you scared?
I was terrified.
Okay, much better. Anyway, so but getting back into it, like thinking towards what were the components of her as a human being that you felt like you might have missed in identifying that this is a shitty person. Like what? I don't know if you can talk to that, because I think it would help us understand from our perspective. Maybe we can take some of the things that you might have called out and then put that in our data bank, so that when we're dealing with women, we'll be like, oh, Lynn talked about that.
Yeah.
She might be a shitty person.
Honestly, I think it's the same traits as because you talk about how we have a lot of guests here who are worried that if they let out their feelings to a woman, that she'll use it against him. Similarly, women have the same fear, right? If I let out all my feelings to this dude, is he going to use it against me? Same shit.
You think so?
Yeah, totally. How many women I know who are scared of getting hurt?
Yeah, there's a lot that's scared of getting hurt.
Right? It's men, women, it's people. People are people, right?
Well, here's the thing. I think much more women are way more willing to share everything. About every detail, about every situation, about every component of life, of things that probably I don't even care about.
Yeah, but a lot of all of those things, really what they're feeling on the inside, the quality of what you're sharing what you did versus how you feel are two different things, right? One's on a deeper level, the other thing is surfacey level. It's just different levels of expression. Dudes like to express through kinetic stuff, right? Y'all get in a fight and then you beat each other up and then 2 seconds later you're fine. Women aren't like that.
Right, which is why I think women generally have to be more cunning. And because they're not reliant on, last trip that I took with my bros, he was pissing me off and I was pissing him off, and we just had a good old fashioned wrestling match. And it was good right all after that. It was fine. But women don't do that.
No,
right?
We don't do that. We have to have a verbal spar.
It's a verbal, right, which is, if you look at the suicide rates of young teenage women, those are going up astronomically because of this whole social media thing. And, for women, for men, we might have competition from a physical perspective, whether that be in sports or having a good old fashioned slobber knocker, just get it out, put it up on the table on the basketball court.
Can we look at Lauren's comment real quick?
But also women generally have to do it from much more of a mental perspective. So they'll try to break you down from information that they know about you.
It's a Japanese horror film versus an American horror film.
So but that thing, so when you describe that it's equal on both sides, I feel like it's way more it can be weaponized more from a man communicating with a woman, because I feel like in the back of my mind, she cannot fight back with brawn, but she can fight back with words.
Yeah. I think this woman in particular, she was very narcissistic. But at the same time, men loved her. They loved her. So it's if your girlfriends don't like her, and multiple of them, women around you who have good heads on their shoulders don't like her, there's probably a really good reason for that.
Okay, so that's the recommendation.
Yeah,
for
sure.
If you the network of women around you, if they don't, if women, I always think a woman who cannot get along with other women, is a red flag. Yeah. I think there's
if it's 1 or 2 women, then it's okay,
right.
Maybe it's
no, but I mean there's some that just I don't bang with women at all.
Yeah.
Right, I think there's a component of that, but like I have to understand why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, wait, you have no homegirls? Like, who are your friends?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a red flag to me. Like, oh, okay, because something happens and then you end up fighting, or you don't know how to compromise, or I don't know.
Yeah, like not knowing how to compromise that's like a really good, I think, inkling that you have as to one of the many reasons why somebody may not have, or a woman may not have, other female friends.
But you said narcissistic. So what I took out of that is she probably has a fantastic IG account, which men like, because you said men like her.
Yeah. Oh God, they love her. Like she can in 2 seconds. Like she can, like, she loves being single, but then like she'll wake up one day and be like, yeah, like I think I want a boyfriend now. Within a week, she'll have a boyfriend, and like not some like chumpy dude either. And like the rest of us are like, how? Why? How did this? I mean, I get it because she's really pretty. She's like smart. She's fun to be around, like as a person, but she's also very narcissistic and like has really poor listening skills.
Oh, she's all into herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good trophy to me.
Yeah, like just only into herself, not like into herself, which is great, but also into her friends and her relationships and her like people around her. Like I mean, like literally just in love with herself.
Narcissistic personality traits, people who are just indubitably in love with themselves, oftentimes only like to be in the spotlight. Yeah. So at times where you might be in the spotlight, they may try to do something to undercut you in order to take you out the spotlight, so then they can still be in the spotlight to put a further highlight on their narcissistic components of the personality. Like it just,
I want to address Lauren's
comment. Come on, let's get in it. Lauren! Shout out to Lauren. I know Lauren. Shout out. Thank you, Lauren, for the $5 super chat. I think it comes down. You want to read it? I know you wanted to address it. Go ahead.
I want to address it for sure because I think she has such wise words to say. I think it comes down to being wise about who you choose. Pay attention to actions instead of words. I think that's
actions.
Couldn't have said it better.
Actions.
Yeah.
Actions.
I mean, that's my love language too, like acts of service and like doing things for people. And sometimes words can be an action too, like, complimenting your friends who, put a lot of effort into whatever they're wearing that day or whatever it is.
So like your friend, doubling back into her, her words are probably fantastic to people. That's why she can get dudes all around or whatever. But her actions show something different. They paint a different light onto who she actually is and how much of a partner or a friend she actually is.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a traumatic experience for you. Like I don't want to get into like exactly what happened, but I feel like your energy slipped a little bit as we started to talk about it.
Yeah, it was just like how did I let that happen? And like in retrospect, it's always like, you know what? Like this person was your friend. You really appreciated their friendship for what it was. And then at some point, life is like a train. It's a journey on a train. At some point, people get on the train, and at some people get off the train. And it's time for her to get off the Lynn train.
Time to get off the Lynn train. All right. So listen, we have 8-ish more minutes, guys. Because remember, I keep on telling you, I'm trying to shrink these down to 2-hour live streams so I can continue to live my Saturday nights. I've lost out on like 2 months of Fridays and Saturdays because I'm doing it.
You guys can live it too.
Right. Yeah. Well, at the same time, but I love being here. That's why I love those long live streams. And it don't mean that I'm not going to do long live streams in the future. But so also too, did you want to circle back into the conversation on bag talk for like the next 10 minutes?
If the people want it. If the people want it.
Yo, put a 1 down in the chat right now if we should keep on the same topic and keep diving further and get back into the comments, or if we should switch into this bag talk component. Put a 1 down in the chat if you do want that to happen. While you guys are putting 1s, also go up and hit that goddamn like button. Wholeheartedly, we appreciate that.
And the Patreon.
Oh, come on, girl. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Patreon.com/MTNR. Feel free to go up there in order to see the extra content. We have a family growing up there, almost up to 30 folks, 30 of the Mediocre fam. #Mediocre fam. That's up there.
And I saw somebody ask me like twice if I knew who Dan Locke was. I have no idea who Dan Locke is.
Shout out to everybody that's coming in the building. My bad. I'm looking down into the names. Razil, I see you. I see you, Jonathan. I see you, Abner. I see you. J-Do in the building. What's up, Fam, you doing good. Keep up the good work, but keep the masculine energy, truth, logic, and facts first.
Yeah, that's why I make you do the fact check.
Always and forever. Yeah, listen. Yeah, we make sure that that we make sure that we you know, we don't spread fake news over here. Fake news is the last thing that we want to go up on this channel. We got to make sure everything is true.
Yeah, no alternative facts because that shit is lies.
Trying not to. Shout out to DeMonte
Thank
Thompson.
you, DeMonte.
Thank you, DeMonte, so much for. Oh, you switched your avatar, DeMonte. I hope you didn't switch it just because I said it looked like a cartoon black baby the last time that I saw it up there. Salute to you, DeMonte. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You want to read that one?
Okay. Well, he says, understand that women and men can hide who they are until after they get what they want from the other person. That facts. Depending on, you know, who it is, what it is, the situation, right?
Yeah.
And that's in literally any situation, whether it's, hey, I just want to spend like the next 10 minutes talking to this person so that, you know, I can feel validated that I'm still attractive at this bar, or until I get this person in bed and slip out in the middle of the night, or until I get this deal closed, right? Like, I'm not for it necessarily because it's not fun pretending to be not somebody you're not.
Factual. DeMonte, thank you so much again for the $5 super chat.
What
up, Kyle? How are you, my G? Where you been at tonight?
He said, damn, wish I knew you were streaming. That's my fault because you usually stream at like 8 p.m., right?
I forgot to talk about that. Lynn was 30 minutes late today.
Okay, I have a really good reason though.
It's not, but continue.
Okay, so my neighbors came over, and like I live in a building where it's one floor and we've only got 4 units. So the neighbors like have gotten pretty dang close, and like they show up sometimes. And I love to cook and bake, but I haven't had the chance to really bake or cook for large groups of people living here as I do back home, right? I can just bake something and then it'll just magically disappear. They came over, we were hanging out, and then they go, can we eat cheesecake? Can you make us a cheesecake? And I was like, I can make you cheesecake cupcakes all day long. Like,
I didn't know you could cook like that. I'm about to come.
Cheesecake is one of my specialties. And so I jumped at the chance.
I'm gluten free though, so I can't really.
Shit, I should have had you over for the. I made these like red velvet, clean like protein cupcakes.
What? Why are you not inviting me?
Like,
I live down the block.
That's true. I experiment in the kitchen a lot.
Ain't this some bullshit? Ain't this some bullshit?
Well, maybe at the next Red Cup Talk. We could have
We're gonna bring something. We're gonna do like a taste test.
Yeah, we gotta do like Red Cup Talk with like, you know, hors d'oeuvres and stuff.
I'm so with it. I'm so with it.
Yeah.
I've also been thinking
or
too.
At your last party, like I was gonna bring stuff, and you were like, no, I'm catering stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, I won't bring, because like you don't want to be the girl who brings the stuff to somebody else's cookout. You know
yeah.
Like you can't do that.
No.
Or at least that's what the internet tells me. So I googled it.
Is it the same thing in Canada? Is it the cultural?
Usually, like you would bring something to somebody's house.
Yeah, but I told you not to.
Yeah, you were very specific about not bringing something, and I was like, I don't want to offend him if I like bring something.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Well, I wanted to feel like I was taking care of all of y'all.
Yeah, and I like, you know, I knew you wanted to do that too.
Yeah,
it was gonna be like banana bread or something, probably.
Yeah, but that's fantastic. You know, listen, we got to talk about a way that I can understand what's on the menu, so I can come down there and knock down your door. Shout out to Kyle for the $2 super chat, my G, Patreon supporter. Oh, Kyle again, what's good? I got my I get my cheeks because I'm who I am and up front as opposed to lying. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I completely get you. I think that's the best way to achieve a cheek, in my opinion. You know, there's a lot of fakers and a lot of stunners out there. Huh?
What's cheek? Like, not these cheeks.
Are you trolling?
No, I'm not trolling. Dude, I have to ask you what red pill, blue pill was.
Excuse me, I have to have a conversation with my people.
Okay.
Guys, what do you think? Is she next on deck for the Canadian cutie pie? What do you guys think? I feel like she is completely taken.
Next on deck.
I think she's completely taken over the Canadian cutie pie title. We've lost the Midwest cutie pie. Okay, we've lost that one. I think Shout out to Kelly.
All love to Kelly. Hold on.
I do think that she's you know, she doesn't know what cheeks mean. That is ridiculous to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I forgot you were still there. Cheeks.
Yes.
It's your other cheeks. What's the other cheeks?
Your butt cheeks? Wait.
Yes.
Okay.
What's underneath the butt cheeks? We like to call that on
quads?
the channel. Oh God. We like to call it on the channel the viscosity.
You mean the vulva?
Yes, sure. Yes.
Oh, okay.
The viscosity hole.
Yes, and you know what? It's nice to be upfront. I saw a comment earlier, like it was, I think, like a joking comment somewhere about like, hold up. There, like, so you Razil, what's good, Razil? So you mean to tell me to tell a woman up front you want to bend her over? Okay, listen, here's the thing. There's a way to be up. It's not what you say it, it's how you say it. Like, you know, you could be like, hey, listen, I'm looking for something casual, or hey, want to get out of here. As opposed to, hey, I want to bend you over and like destroy your back. Vulva? Right? Different women are going to take it differently.
Canadian cutie pie. I want to destroy your vulva. Look at them. They're going off in the chat.
Oh my God.
Oh man, yeah, we skipped the bag and went to ass talk. Listen, if you have like extra time, maybe we'll keep on going for like a little bit after. You know what I'm saying? I think I saw J Doe said that I like Kelly, but she can be replaced. Listen, the show must go on. I respect her decision. I might do an entire video about it because I know there's a lot of people who follow the channel that don't have time for 2-hour Red Cup talk. So I might do like a short 10-minute video on what that situation was, what's something that I might have learned from it. But
start doing a game component. I just thought of this.
So I'm sorry?
Like a game component.
Like to gamify something here?
Yeah, like
what?
No. Like just as a segment on the show. Total suggestion. Like whether it's
booty cheeks, baby.
We're all trying to grow those booty cheeks.
Yeah, right. Oh, I'm gonna get demonetized.
Like I said.
Look at Greg Vulva. We're about to compromise this pure woman. She's pure.
Poor.
Oh, it does say poor. What is? Yeah, I've been. My reading capabilities have gone down the older I get. I read on computer screens too much. Look, and they all laughing down there.
Oh my gosh. Whips.
Listen.
So okay, yeah. So I mean like a quick fire round of like, would you rather, or like never have I ever, or whatever.
Yeah, no. So I did a truth or drink not too long ago.
No.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, that was.
And I have a thing. Maybe we'll do it next time. But I have like a whole list of questions in a jar over there that I can still continue on with. Yeah. I think we don't have enough time to start off right now. We don't have time for that. But maybe the next time we'll do a truth or drink type of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Do you see any of the look at Unique? You were in the chat. Unique was like donating like $1 and then saying, "Oh wait, no, that's not Unique. I'm sorry. I was thinking of God damn it. Unique's from London. I'm sorry. When I see Unique's avatar, it makes me think of the other dude. What is my man's name? That always that's always in there talking about Kelly. Oh. You guys probably already know his name. Who I'm talking about. I forget his name. But anyway, he threw $1 in the chat. Was like, now stand up, Kelly. I thought it was funny, but she may not have liked it.
Crack it open like a lobster. Hey, lobsters are actually in a surplus right now because of the virus outbreak. So, like, the price on lobster is about to go down. Everybody go make some lobster bisque.
What's your thoughts on Corona, real quick? I watched the
people wash your hands.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Go to the once you after
Dapper Romeo. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
Dapper Romeo. Yeah. Dapper Romeo is hilarious to me, but he may not be funny to other women. But anyway, wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands, man. Like, if you're going to the bathroom, wash your hands.
Mm.
If you're like, don't shake hands with people these days, like just from a safety perspective. Or if you do, just like hand sanitize that shit out of that thing. soap and water, like, you know, it's basic personal hygiene. Don't be hoarding masks. That stuff needs to go to healthcare workers.
Tell them, Lynn. Let them know.
Yeah.
DeMonte over here blaming me. I think MTR relationship with Kelly went bad after she took it out on us. Just saying. I appreciate your opinion, DeMonte. Unique 79 says, crack it open like a lobster. You let your energy say bend over, not your mouth. Yo, they're going in right now. This is the conversation that they want. They don't want bag talk.
Nobody wants bag talk except for us.
They don't. I want bag talk. I want bag talk. Damn right, fam. We the Real Plies brothers, lead not follow. Feminine energies. That's my uncle down there. I don't know if. Let me properly introduce you to Uncle Jado. That's Uncle Jado.
Hello, Uncle Jado.
Good. I'm happy that you said hello to my uncle. Let's go down. What did you guys in the chat room say to Kelly? Yeah, it was, yeah, it's up on my Patreon if you guys want to go up there.
That was the first thing I asked when I walked in too. I was like, "Hello,
yeah, that's
what
the
did
first
y'all
thing
do
she
to
said.
Kelly?"
Yeah, that's the first thing that she asked me. This is So anyway, so double back into the because the chat room just started to go crazy again.
Yeah.
So double back into kind of this cultural talk. So like, let's say a dude wants to, knowing your race, knowing your ethnicity, knowing the culture that surrounds all that, right? Knowing that trifecta.
Yeah.
What's the best way that a man can initiate the conversation for the viscosity?
You walk up, introduce yourself, and say hi.
Okay. So start with hi first.
Yeah.
And I think this is key because there's a lot of dudes out here that listen to these pickup artists YouTube channels.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Oh, what's your feeling though? You know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah,
right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Shit is so trash. Half of those is actors. They just pay actresses to come through. They live in LA. Kyle says you should just take charge and they take it the same. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's
people are people are people.
People are people are people.
Introduce yourself. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, move on. There's like 7 billion people in the world. Like, just because this one didn't work doesn't mean you can't go to somebody else.
You're kind of red pill, Lynn. You're like a feminist red pill.
Is that bad?
Yeah, I think it's who you are is never bad.
Yeah.
I think that there's components of the way that you talk about things that I think is outside the matrix.
Okay.
I do think that just as we do with anything that we are a part of, like there's more things that I love to talk about from a Black man's perspective.
Yeah.
And I will put those things up on high because I am Black and I am a male.
Yeah.
I think that you're a woman. Yeah. So there's things that within the feminist.
I think I am too.
Yeah.
I just checked.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There.
Which isn't necessarily always indicative, right? You can identify.
Yo, it's 2020.
As female.
Yo, there's so many.
Yeah. You can identify as female, and not necessarily have the parts.
There's so many question marks out there. It's like you got to do your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure. Now, but you believe in that because you're a woman, but I think like what you saw earlier is a couple of dudes in the chat that got kind of triggered. But I think like there's a lot of people that when you say the word feminist, they lump in a lot of different things.
I think there's a lot of like, words that other things that have associations that have come to be identified with the brand of feminism, and I think it has. Made people feel a little stigmatized or give even women a certain view of what feminist really means. And they'll disidentify as being feminist. They'll say like, I am not a feminist, but then all of the things that they enjoy come from, feminists fighting for their rights, the right to vote, the right to like have a bank account, things like that, own property. If you don't believe that women should have the ability to vote or have the right to free speech, then I'm sorry, you're not a feminist. Or
you know what's interesting about that?
You know what I mean? Like if you're a woman saying you're not a feminist.
You know what's interesting about that? Like if you look at the history of the right to vote, women didn't want the right to vote.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
in America.
In America.
Okay.
And the reason why they didn't want that is because when you have the right to vote, then it opens you up to other things as well, such as the draft.
Okay. I see.
such as jury duty.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you look at the history on it,
Yeah.
and this is facts, by the way. I can Google it as well to show you too.
Okay.
But like the majority of women during that time
didn't want to do it.
Voted against it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But they had to vote for the right
or
to
excuse
vote?
me, abstain from voting.
I see.
But who brought it through?
But they still have the right?
But who brought it through?
Who?
Men.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So they wanted to even it out for a variety of reasons to provide that right to vote. So it's just an interesting fact.
Yeah, that is super interesting.
Yeah. So
I learned a lot of new things today.
Isn't it crazy? We get together and we continue to inform each other on both sides of the coin.
We got to continue to learn.
Absolutely.
About each other, about things in the world.
This is a continuous.
How to secure the bag.
How to secure the bag. We can get into that in a second right now too. You know, this is gents and one or two ladies are still in the chat.
Yeah.
Right. Like you can never not be in a continuous learning state of mind, especially now. Things are moving way too quickly, way too fast. You always, school might end at a certain year, but you should be a life learner for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because if not, you get outpaced and then undercut by the competition.
Yeah. And that doesn't always necessarily mean like formal education either. If you choose to, pursue that, highly encourage it, right? Because you get something tangible out of it. At the same time, there's many different ways of learning, right? Learning how to like fix your faucets, fix your pipes, learning how to do electrical on your own. That's learning, right? Reading is about the world is learning. Watching like videos on YouTube and, learning about different parts of the world. That's learning. Traveling, that's learning.
I've learned how to run a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
YouTube. I've like just YouTube everything. Kyle over here says that's all a lie.
Which part?
I don't know. Yeah. What part do you think
is clarify?
And thank you for the $2 super chat as well, Kyle. I don't think I don't hopefully he's not talking about being a continuous learner. Because that's definitely not a lie. Even if we talk about how jobs will switch and shift within the next 5 to 10 to 20 years, and in fact, I've talked about this on my channel. Maybe this will go a little bit into the bag talk video, but I also wanted to double back and then ask you, what's the last greatest pickup line that someone asked you? But real quick, while you think about that, so also too, what I do right now, I have a component of my job that has to deal with automation, right?
Yeah.
So right now we are trying to build and automate a chatbot. So like you go up on a website and then we can answer questions for you that normally we would require someone to be sitting in a seat to answer for you. But the fact of the matter is that most companies understand that it is expensive to put people in seats. That's the greatest cost to most companies is human beings, human capital. It's very expensive and they require a lot of insurance. Okay. With that being said, there's things that's being done in order to remove some of these manual labor type tasks and, blue collar workers as well. I looked at a video the other day of a robot that builds houses. A robot that builds houses. Like, you think about the auto industry, robots build cars.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
It's not just blue collar jobs. White collar jobs are going away. Like you mentioned earlier, customer service jobs are going away. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal recently about all of the jobs in finance that are going to be going away. So nobody is safe, right? Like
accounting.
Right. Accounting.
Lawyers too.
Lawyers. Yeah. There's like a lot of these small, like automated law firms online now. Yeah.
Well,
especially for getting something easy done.
Yeah. Well, they have natural language processing and understanding where,
Shout out to Menzie for locating.
Oh, did Menzie put that in there? Natural language processing. Yeah, exactly, Menzie. There's a lot of, I was reading an article for JP Morgan Chase that was talking about how they automated like 300,000 hours of lawyer time because these lawyers were down in documents and searching for certain words and they had an AI, a natural language processor stood up in order to interpret documents. And it has removed 300,000 hours a year worth of lawyer time. Now think about how much lawyers charge per hour internal to a company, right? So that's a significant cost savings that now they can use a robot to do something outside of that human being, right? So I think, Kyle, I'd want to hear what you're thinking behind that, but I think that there always has to be an understanding of what it is that what you're doing right now there's a chance that it may not be around in 5 to 10 to 20 years, especially now. Things are moving so quickly. No, I am not a Nets fan. I'm from New York. Yeah, I'm from New York, and we just got finished. I don't like sports.
Speaking of, anybody who follows the NBA in here, the Toronto Raptors, we just clinched the playoffs.
Go ahead. Are you flashing them? What are you doing over
there?
Are you showing them the goodies?
Old school logo.
Oh, I saw what you just did over there.
Old school logo.
That is the old school.
We just clinched the playoffs last night. This is something to celebrate.
Listen, you just made me remind. Like I was looking at and I just thought of Vince Carter in between the legs. Yeah. You know, that's what that logo reminds me of.
Yeah.
I feel
so my cousin Steve, the one who like married a Northern girl.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, we were bonding over scotch and stuff. What?
These comments. I have the best subscribers.
Oh my God.
I have the best. Listen, you guys.
That's true because none of them have like seen me.
They haven't seen anything. Yeah. They haven't seen anything.
So anyway, my cousin Steve.
Listen, you guys will talk about sports. I don't know any. I don't follow anything. But go ahead. Your cousin Steve.
So my cousin Steve, he grew up in China. He lives in China, and I did not know him.
Yeah.
Like I'd never met him, but I got a phone call from my mom one day during the playoffs against the Miami Heat several years ago. And she said to me, hey, your cousin Steve's coming into town for a business trip. He's going to be here through the weekend. There's a basketball game on Sunday he wants to go to. Can you get him a ticket? And I go, Mom, it's the playoffs. Like if we lose tonight, then yeah, there's a game on Sunday. But if we win tonight, there ain't no game on Sunday. Right. We getting past fucking Heat. And she was like, okay, so if we win tonight, we have to play on Sunday. And I was like, no, Mom. It was a whole thing. Anyway, 2 a.m. that same night, I got a phone call from my mom being like, hey, did you buy the ticket yet? And I was like, yeah, Mom, we lost. Fine, I'll get the ticket. And she goes, yeah, so his budget's $500. And I go, for one ticket? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then she's like, you know what? You talk to him. Here's his number. Just talk to him. And I was like, Mom, what language does he speak? Because I don't know what language he speaks at this point in time. I'm like, I don't know if he can type in English. I don't know if he speaks Cantonese. I don't know if he speaks Mandarin. Because, Mandarin is my fourth language. And it was highly likely that was the language he spoke. And I was like, I sound like a 5-year-old in Mandarin. So it was just kind of like, like, how do I communicate with this guy? So he texts me first and he goes, yeah, so I saw the tickets for the prices for the tickets were going up. They're $600 now. Get me the best ticket $600 can buy. And I go, oh, okay, cousin Steve, just you want me to come with you? Like, you just want to go alone? He's like, yeah, the best ticket $600 can buy. And I was like, all right, cool. So I bought this ticket for him. It was like, really, really close, corner pocket side, like corner leg on this end. Wait, they can't see. He was like, this is the court. He was here. So, I printed it off on like black and white 8.5 by 11 paper. And the next day I go to pick him up from his hotel to take him around city and like take him to go sightsee and stuff. And I have it like folded up into like a tiny square in my purse. And he gets in the car. I give it to him. I'm like, congratulations, you're going to game 7. And he like clutches it and he's like, I've wanted to see this for so long. And I was just like, okay, you and everybody else in the city, buddy. But I was like, congratulations, ha ha ha. So we're, at dinner, the two of us were, a couple of scotches in, several dozen oysters in. And he goes, do you know why I want to see this game so bad? And I was like, well, yeah, it's, last game against the Heat. Like, it's playoffs, dude. And he goes, no. You don't understand. You don't understand how important this is to me. I've been watching NBA basketball since I was 10 years old. So for 20 years, I've been watching basketball on a tiny little television, waking up at odd hours to watch. And this is my first professional game. The Toronto Raptors were my first team that I was a fan of. And I love the Toronto Raptors because of Vince Carter. And I like just about cried because, again, a couple scotches in. And it was amazing to me how like simple it was to connect like that was a true connecting moment for us, despite because culturally we were a little different. Like that was a real connecting moment for us. It was something that made us feel like we were in the same, like, oh yeah, we're different, but we're the same.
Lovely story, Lynn.
Yeah. Sorry, that was really long-winded.
Kyle says to what she said about feminism.
Okay.
Kyle, thank you so much for the $2 super chat.
Thank you.
So that was a couple minutes ago. I don't even remember what you said about to even double back into it, but we're past the feminism talk, so let's just keep on going. Crafters. How you feel about that, Lynn? Feel like are your feelings hurt?
No.
Thank you, Malcolm, so much, my G.
Thank
supporter
you for your
for the $2. Crafters. Kyle says, I'm in the trades. Robots cannot take my job. Yeah, I think it just depends what type of trade that you are in, bro.
I think so too.
Oh, he says it right here. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you. You already answered the question before we asked.
I'm an electrician, can't take my job. Bro, you would be so mad at me. So like I went and my microwave stopped working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the goddamn hell? I went and called the electrician to come in here. And he goes to my microwave, right? And he's looking at it and he's like, where's the what do they call it? It's the red button on the outlets. He goes and clicks on that red button and he's like, oh yeah, it's working now. I forget the name of that little thing.
That's funny.
You know, on the outlet, you click
like
on that little red button. It wasn't a circuit breaker. It wasn't my circuit breaker. It was like the little button.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Let me explain myself. Kyle's probably like, this idiot. Let me explain myself. Where the microwave is not where that little reset button is. It's on a whole other. It's in my kitchen. Like the microwave is in a cabinet in my kitchen. In the outlet is like on the other side of the kitchen. So like I had no idea that they were connected. The electric wiring in the building. This building was built in like 1900. So like as you can imagine, there's a lot of things that they probably did that was just jigsy rigged. Okay.
Yes.
He says the surge protector is called the ground. Yeah, and then literally like he's just looking at me like I was a piece of shit, and as he just clicked the little red button, and I'm like, bro, how much is that going to cost me? He's like, well, to come out, it's about $150. I was like, bro, there's no way that I can pay that for what you just did. And then he called the company and they ended up charging me like $60. So it was a $60 lesson, but now that I own a place, it's like I gotta, they're all judging me in the chat. I got responsibility. I got to start learning shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If I have like little things that are like breaking and shit, I have to start Googling more. I can't just be paying $150 a goddamn every time something goes wrong in my crib. You know what I mean?
$150, you're not paying for the actual push of the button. What you're paying for is their experience. You're paying for their expertise.
Yeah.
You're
well, I'm currently paying to learn.
You're
because
not
like
paying for their hours, no idea. You're paying for the years that they've spent, right?
Well, I had no idea that was even a thing. Like I knew, like, if you in a bathroom and you click the little red button and make your hair dryer work, or your T outlining when you shaping yourself up. Like, of course I know that, but I'm like in the kitchen, it never even occurred to me that there's the same things in the kitchen and that it's not even connected to the outlet that I was plugging my goddamn microwave in.
That's really funny.
I'm getting angry thinking about it. Anyway, let's get back down into the conversation. Oh shit, it's 2:20. How you feeling?
Yeah,
10 more minutes?
Yeah. Always have fun when I'm here.
Okay. 10 more minutes. Let's get back down to some of these questions. Let me make sure that we are hitting
Did we skip any?
The chats as they are. Oh, damn.
Because I think I saw a couple good comments, but I didn't get a chance to address.
Let me just go back down to the bottom and let's see. Let me see. MTR, get back to intercultural dating.
Sorry, we went off topic. My fault.
No, unique. No! You're not. 10 more minutes. And then let's get out of here. Okay, fam, and chat later. Peace out. We're going tech, and it's killing my 1800 buzz. Salute, J Doe with that, 1800 tequila.
Oh, that means you gotta take another shot.
Yeah,
or a couple of shots.
Take another, J Doe. Take another.
Yeah.
Just real quick. So let's get back to to intercultural dating. Anything else to share that you feel like is pertinent for the conversation?
Yeah, I thought I saw a comment that we totally skipped about it. Hold up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It was while we were wilding out over here about the surge protector thingy. Keep going. Everybody's gonna call up Kyle to like
do their
electric now, which I'm super supportive of. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. Anytime you date an Asian girl, she'll check you for a fetish. Too many white dudes did that to them poor Asian girls. Yo, facts. Unless that Asian girl also has like some weird white people fetish, like then she just kind of.
I think a lot of those Asian girls have a money fetish.
Yeah, I would say a lot of women have a money fetish.
Facts.
So do a lot of men.
You think so? Now, when you say a lot of women and a lot of men, do you think that that's equally equated? Like a lot of? Because I feel like a lot more women have.
I think it's more visible that women do it because it's one of the few means for them to gain economic success, right? Like not everyone has the same opportunities for education or see, Kyle says just contact him next time.
Oh, salute to Kyle. Yeah. Reset on the GFI. Yeah, bro. Any electrical problems, Kyle, you already know I'm coming straight through.
Yeah. So okay, hold on. Back to the topic. I think it's because in history for thousands of years, that was her only means of like increasing her like economic income. Whereas now, because like she couldn't make money on her own. She wasn't allowed to.
Let me ask you a quick question on top of that. Do you think that because of the ideas that feminism has pushed, that now love is not as dope as what it used to be? Because now think about what you just said. Yeah. There used to be a time where there was a requirement for a woman to link up with a man. Yeah. For a variety of reasons, but then also to make sure that she is the most financially taken care of and protected over for a period of time so that she can, then they'll go on to raise children or what have you. And she maybe wasn't as allowed to go out to the workplace and equal play and like all these things. Yeah. So like thinking about the dynamic, right? Like, because I think that there's a positive and negative with anything that we kind of push off, right? Okay. So like, but if you think about the ideas of what feminism has pushed through, anything you can do, I can do better, or like, that. And I say that facetiously because I think everybody should be paid equal, for the same amount of work,
for the same or for equally valued work, equitable work.
True.
Right, because we don't value domestic work the same way we value like being able to trade on the stock market, right?
I don't know, because domestic work, like I can have a nanny. Yeah. I can pay a nanny to live in, and there's a money attached to domestic work. Yeah. And that nanny will raise the kids and then do all the housekeeping.
Right. But if you don't hire a nanny and you're doing it, your spouse is doing it, she's not getting paid for that.
She's not. I mean, it's free labor, but it's labor.
He's not getting paid for it, right?
I have a friend
it's free labor. It is labor.
Yeah, I have a friend that has a nanny, and they pay her about $60,000-$70,000 a year. Yeah. Legit, but like he makes really, really good money, and his wife makes really, really good money.
Yeah, and she should be getting benefits as well, depending on where they live.
So anyway, back to how feminism has pushed, right? Like I want you to understand those concepts that I was bringing up, and I just wanted how do you feel about
my opinion? I would say that if we believe that feminism has quote unquote put these ideas in our head or like pushed like romance and dating to be a different type of way, it's kind of also assuming that everything was like baby's breath and roses all before, right? Like that's like saying, oh yeah, getting married meant and being able to raise children with the person, being married to that person is being taken care of. That's not necessarily true. Doesn't mean that person can't hurt you. Doesn't mean that you cannot be sexually assaulted by your spouse. Doesn't mean that you cannot be physically assaulted by your spouse. Doesn't mean that they can't emotionally hurt you, verbally abuse you, or anything else, or just not love you, period. Right. And obviously it's a two-way street, but it's just defined the way people live and work differently. And how they split, to our earlier topic, how they split all of the holistic duties that you have differently. And maybe that means one person brings home the bacon and the other person takes care of the household. Totally legit. But it just means that isn't the only role that you have to take.
So, but the concept of, you know, that, you know, women should be out into the workplace accomplishing as much. I think there's degrees of that where if they go do that and then they're looking for a mate or a partner kind of later on in life.
Yeah.
So here's this. Let me attack it from this perspective. A young man who is 20 years old, coming out of school, trying to get his leg up in life, generally is at his least valuable in the dating market.
Okay.
A young woman at that same time frame is the most valuable. Okay. Because when you think about like how men consider what is attractive, when men are much more visual,
right? Yeah.
So they really value youth. They really value being in a prime. The appearance of youth, which is why the beauty industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Anti-aging, multi-billion. Yeah. So right, like if you think about you know, the idea of, well, no, we'll hold that off to go do a career, and they're putting this information like that in your mind. But then also, if you have goals of, you know, being, you know, having a family one day, it then you start to go on a trajectory where it then starts to decrease your dating value.
Your social currency.
Your dating currency, your social currency. Yeah. Exactly. So I'll toss it up again. I have my own thoughts and opinions, but I'm just saying what the people say, and I'm going to toss it up into the air and then see how you feel about that.
See where I catch it.
Yeah, and we have a lot of super chats that came through.
I know, this is nuts. Everybody's very passionate about this topic.
The Bot Factory, what's good, my G? I see you. We're going to get to you in a quick second.
I think it really depends. Like, we're looking at it from a certain cultural context too, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I look at, like, in Chinese culture, they have a term for women like me. It's called leftover men and leftover women once you pass a certain age, because
get out of here. They have that?
Yeah. There's actually Vice Identity did a really good documentary about this.
Leftover women.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly for that culture?
It means like you're over. Yeah, it's over a certain age and you're single.
What's the
cutoff is like 26 or something, or like
you're lying.
I'm not, because like the average, so like depending on where you live, the average age of marriage will be different. In Canada, we generally get married a little later. So the average age of marriage in Canada, I think the last time I checked the statistic was like 32, 33. Mm-hmm. In the US, it's much younger. Mm-hmm. The US actually has one of the youngest average ages of first marriage amongst the developed nations. Mm-hmm. So I think it's like 26 for women, something like that, which is still a very big increase versus where it was in like 1970.
Yeah, it was like 19.
I think Gallup did a poll about this. So if anybody's interested in that kind of data, go take a look. It's, you know, very much cultural. Mm-hmm. East Asia, it's like everybody gets married really young, like 22, 23. The parents start getting nervous if their kids don't have a partner that it looks like they're going to get married to.
Wow. So, but there's not like a feminist movement in Asian culture.
No, right? Of course there is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. Women are getting more educated. Women are making their own money, but at the same time, still expected to do it all. And
how do you feel about
they've
that?
Still got these like societal pressures of like, oh no, you're leftover. Like, you're not fully a woman until you've gotten married and had kids.
Do you think women knew that they were so right? Like, it seems like a tougher life, right? In terms of like, because you're telling them to go out and do that, but then you're still having the same biological requirements of when you can have
cultural requirements.
Yeah, but then biological too of when you can actually have kids.
Well, you can have kids well into your 40s.
Well, you can freeze your eggs now, which is like a technological.
No, even without freezing your eggs, like. Adam Explains Everything did a really good 10 to 15
I like
minute
that
segment.
YouTube channel.
Yeah. He did a really good 15-minute segment about this, about, you know, us freaking people out and saying like, oh, you can't have kids after the age of 30. And it's like, okay, your chances decrease from like, you know, 1% to like 0.7% or something ridiculous like that. So like it's a lot of propaganda too, where you know, we as a society want to uphold family values and creating a family unit and et cetera. Like, where the hell is this really coming from?
Salute to the Bot Factory. My G, how are you? Hopefully you've been in here because it's been a great one. Women want an honest man.
Do men not want an honest woman?
No, I think that if we can find one, that would be ideal. Except when it comes to getting in her pants, your first encounter. She wants you to avoid speaking your true intentions, allowing her to avoid accountability and giving her a way out of it.
I'm still processing the statement.
Yeah.
So she wants you to avoid telling the truth because it allows her to avoid accountability for what?
So I think he's talking about the irony of the dichotomy of what women want. So they want an honest man, but they don't want you to be honest about your viscosity.
Got it.
About wanting your viscosity.
Didn't we talk earlier about like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? Like, yeah, I don't want you to come up to me and be like, hey, I want to munch on your box when like I don't even know what your name is. Like, no. So you're saying again, it just depends. So like when you go into delivery.
So when you go into these situations, are you already assuming that the dude wants your tender vittles?
No, like if they're literally saying those words. But if they're saying something like, oh, I'm looking for something casual for the night, like, okay, cool. Like you've communicated the same idea without being crude about it.
Well, here's the thing.
But I think also you've set my expectations.
Well, I think for women who are looking for a relationship, what the Bot Factory is saying is true. But you know, I'm going on dates with women, and you could tell that they were not looking for relationships.
Yeah, they just were like, hello.
Hey,
you look delicious.
And nutritious. Salute to the Bot Factory. She wants you to avoid speaking true intentions, allowing her to avoid accountability. I mean, the thing is like, I think also there's pressures on women to, maintain a relatively low body count. So within what he's saying is that you not asking or pressuring, it is avoiding the, what could be the inevitable. So
it allows her to just not have to say no, but still say no.
But at the same time, you know that like if y'all have a good vibe and then you were like, yo, just come back to the crib. And you just laid on in a doggy like position. Okay. What would happen? You see what I'm saying? So I think what the Bot Factory is calling out is the irony in the dichotomy of the two poles of what women are requesting versus what they know the man wants.
Ugh, so neither of them are being honest about their intentions. That's why this shit is too complicated for me to deal with.
Salute to the Bot Factory.
Thank you for, pushing our minds tonight with that.
Thank you, Kyle, again for the $2 super chat. Your GFI is loaded to the outlet. Yeah, I didn't get that before. You're gonna need I got it now.
You're gonna need like a tutorial with Kyle, I feel like.
I'm gonna need a mediocre tutorial with Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Unique. Thank you so much for the 5.
Thank you.
We talked about this. I used to call these Euro bucks, but these are pounds.
Yes, those are the pound sterling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you for the 5 pounds, bro. Intercultural dating. I am one of those men who appreciates a fine body regardless of the make. I love all fruits from the tree. Salud. Me too.
That's my kind of breed.
Listen, this is survival of the fittest out here. I don't necessarily care what the culture is, in my opinion.
And I think the body preferences are different too, depending on the person.
And look at Jado over there going insane.
Getting Uncle J. Is it Uncle J or Uncle Jado?
Uncle Jado.
Okay.
And I don't know if you realize, but all of every time he writes, it's in caps locks. I don't know if you realize that. That's
an uncle move right there.
That's a straight uncle move.
That's a straight uncle move.
So
in Chinese culture or Chinese Canadian culture, anybody who's like an older dude than you, like you call him an uncle. Okay. So it's not necessarily like
we do that in Black culture too.
Yeah, not necessarily like your blood uncle. But like blood uncles have like specific titles.
Yo,
monumental.
Yo, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. This the thing is that this is my first time seeing his avatar. So welcome to the channel. We do these on Fridays and Saturdays. Salute. You know what I mean? MTR should be monumental tutorials and reviews. I like it.
I like it too. And honestly, more truthful than mediocre.
Well, it's actually funny. I actually did like a mini poll in the live stream last night whether or not I should change my name.
Yeah.
And I just like the play on the word. like the play on the words. It's the fact that, you know, this is not mediocre, the type of conversation that we have up here. Monumental tutorials. I might have to write that down. Like, you can't make it. I can't make a decision on shit.
Kyle just passed you his digits.
Hit me up. Oh no, he's putting his number down in there. He's probably I already talked with Kyle's on my Patreon, so like we already talked back and forth. So I already got his contact information.
Awesome.
So he's probably just putting it down to the chat for anyone that's in Ohio who needs an electrician.
Anyone who needs an electrician in Ohio, call Kyle.
Call Kyle. Kyle's in Cleveland, I believe.
Yo,
where is my pen at? Monument. I'm just gonna write that. I'm gonna stew on that. Monumental tutorial. I don't know. I like mediocre tutorials. Monumental tutorial. It doesn't ring as much. Like, am I tripping? Mediocre tutorials and reviews. Monumental tutorial.
No, I think you got to change the cadence if you're gonna change to monumental, right? And also, like, you're comparing it to mediocre because you've done mediocre for so long, and it's like comfortable, right? Like, you know it. It's like an extension of you. The moment you get on the video, it's like, boom, you know?
Yeah.
And then you just like automatic.
But you know, like, one of the hashtags on the channel was progress over perfection. So it's like when you say monumental, you're already at the point of thinking of yourself like perfection. And the fact of the matter is that I'm always constantly improving. I'm always trying to continuously
work in progress. What's up?
So I feel like, you know, I have to keep myself grounded with mediocre. I like mediocre. I'm gonna go back and continue to think about it. But yes, that's the way I'm gonna pronounce your name. Yes, hydration. That looks like a fantastic logo of a water company. Yeah. Salute to you.
Or like a water bottle company.
Listen, so you know what just popped into my mind? I actually have someone in my town that I just sent out actually a month and a half ago. I want him to create a logo for me, because like you guys see this MTNR logo that's at the top left. I created that in Photoshop in 10 minutes. So I had someone like look at, you know, what a logo might be. And this motherfucker has not gotten back to me. And he said he's gonna give me something by this weekend. So like, you send me an email if you work on logos. Okay. I
don't work on logos. Like, I'm not a graphic designer specifically, but I evaluate and build brands for a living.
Get out of here. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm building a brand.
I've been doing that shit since I was like 15.
So then, wait, hold up. So then, what do you think? Should I do mediocre, or should I think about something different?
We should sit down and have a whole session if we're gonna do this.
Oh, I gotta hire Lynn. Lynn. We're gonna sit down and do a whole session, because you see what's building over here.
Yeah, I've got like
this is.
I've got like a full like structure, because it's not just about what your logo looks like, right? It's what your brand essence is, and you know, what are your core brand associations? What do people think of when they think of MTR, right? Like, is it discussions? Is it like the color red? Is it like, you know, name a bunch of things? And you can do that practice that with any other brand that exists. Paris. Well, when you think Paris, it's romance, France,
ooh la la,
Eiffel Tower,
Menage a trois,
like chocolate, croissant, like whatever it is.
You ignored my Menage a trois.
Menage a trois?
Oh. Little culture bunny.
So in Quebec, we call that a trip à trois.
Trip à trois?
Yeah. We got. It's a different language.
I've learned like 27 new things.
Different accents. They think I sound like a hick. Yo, my neighbor.
So you're like a country Canadian accent?
Like, yeah.
Interesting.
They don't like the way I speak French over in France.
Well, yeah. I don't hear a bit of French in the way that you talk. You see what I'm saying?
It's Quebecois.
Yes, hydration. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Kyle, that's Kyle's number. If you in the Midwest area,
you give him a shout.
Hit up Kyle. Sorry, guys. Let's go back down to the bottom of the chat. These motherfuckers think that they slick. I told you guys 2 hours. Okay. Y'all think, what's the likes doing on the channel, by the way? Guys, go up. Please hit that like button. If you're coming out into the chat, show me love and respect. We're greatly appreciated. Check my previous links, MTR, in my email. Links where, Diego? See if Diego writes something down here. If you mind.
Keep an eye on this.
I appreciate you, Lynn.
Thanks, Nels.
Kyle, thank you so much for the $2 super
Diego
chat
says
again.
No, not in your email.
Did I miss a super chat, Diego? Kyle, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Families build strong nations. That is true. Actually, I'm doing a video on this. I recorded a video earlier. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like last night's Red Cup talk. Like after we got done, I was then drinking at the bar. I woke up, I was hurting. I woke up drunk and recorded like 4 videos. I think that they're good content though.
You know, the best artists record or like create
Lil Wayne.
best art.
Lil
when
Wayne.
They're like, you know,
on some. Listen, I like Lean Wayne.
Hair on your nose. Yeah.
Is that your hair?
No, it's your hair. It's too curly to be my hair.
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
It was weird. It was weird to me. It was weird to
my
me.
My hair ain't that curly.
All right, Kyle, I appreciate you. You know, this is something that we cannot lose sight of, that families build strong nations. The thing is like I have a video going up later today that's talking about the added pressure on being a man who has had a child with a young woman who uses the child as manipulation and leverage. And I think that it does happen in a lot of situations, and we got to start talking about it at a much more of an aggregate scale.
Yeah.
Salute to Kyle.
Hey, Unique 79's jumping off because it's 4:30 a.m. in London.
Unique, I appreciate you staying with me for that amount of time, bro.
Bro, I was there like 3 weeks ago. Should have done this before.
Should have done it before. You gotta meet the people before you go out there.
It's true. We got to do a meet and greet.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I see the locker room in the chat. What's good, my G? How are you? How are you? All right, listen, we're doing just 15 more minutes.
Uncle Jay is wilding over here.
Uncle Jay though is going in. Mediocre tutorials and reviews stays absolutely unique. You know what I'm saying? I know you're tired though, bro. Feel free to go. I appreciate your contributions.
Says, don't kill your momentum.
You're right.
Yeah.
I still see like comments on the channel that are just like, yo, change your name. But like generally, these are people that I see one time and I never see them again. Masculine tutorials. I am your host, Masculine Tutorials and Reviews. I think that's better than Monumental. You may have been mediocre at one point in time, but now, bro, you're the most definitely monumental. Salud, Marcus. I appreciate you, my G. Monumental Tutorials and Reviews. Mediocre Tutorials and the Reviews. I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I say it, like the masculine tutorials and reviews, like I don't ever want to like hide content from people who don't identify with masculine. Like, so here's the thing. I also forget that I did a video like 8 years ago, and 8 months ago. 8 years ago. I did a video 8 months ago, and it was talking about a name change on the channel. And here's what I was thinking about at the time is that I was going to call it the Visual Podcast. And I went and I bought a website, and I still have the website, yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking about, you know, mediocre tutorials and reviews of the Visual Podcast. And I've done that actually in some videos. And then after that, I just kind of lost sight of it because I had other things to work on. But like the Visual Podcast, I feel like is a good ring to it. And that's really what this is. It's people right now that are listening to this and not even looking at this. You see what I'm saying? But they listening.
I see an intercultural question from David Jones.
Go ahead. Wait, hold on 1 second because I'm not looking at that right now. So let me find it here.
Got it. It's like at the end right now.
Oh shit! Real quick.
Brazil.
Viscosity tutorials and reviews. Listen, I gotta make a T-shirt with the word viscosity on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting that trend. I am coining.
Yeah.
I see like other content creators talk about it in different ways. Like they call it P-sleeve and a whole bunch of other stuff. Viscosity does the justice that it needs. Question.
I think of lava when y'all say viscosity, because like lava is like when we talk about viscosity, it's like the thickness of something liquid.
I think of engine fluid. Let me see. Viscosity.
Yeah, it's the thickness of a fluid.
Viscosity. Look, hold on.
And like lava is like a thick fluid.
Stop sharing screen. Share screen. Come on, guys. Talk to me real quick. Viscosity, the state of being thick, sticky, and semi-fluid inconsistency due to internal friction. Tell me a better word. Tell me a better word to describe it.
Vulva.
Oh, come on. I'll kill you. I'll murder you. Look at it. Viscosity of a fluid is the measure of the resistance to deformation at a given rate. All right. For liquids, it corresponds that gushy. That gushy. Come on, let's get it. Viscosity was good. Y'all heard it here first.
Yo, I think we missed a couple super comments.
Hold on, girl. I'm in my bag right now.
Okay. You stay in that bag for a bit.
For liquids, it corresponds to the informal concept of thickness.
Oh my God, so
For example, syrup has a higher viscosity than water. That's that syrup. That gushy is the syrup.
Listen, if you're gonna get syrup though, get maple. Don't
Get out of here, you Canuck.
Don't get
Okay.
that stupid table
We're not
syrup
talking
crap.
about syrup for real. Okay.
Syrup for real. Maple, it's
This is
real.
men over here talking about men-ish, and we're talking about viscosity. Okay. Let me go back. My bad. Let me. Wait a minute. I see Brazil. Let me acknowledge the fish fluid. Brazil, you dirty man. You dirty man. Every time I look at Brazil's avatar, I get a little bit saddened.
Dude, now I'm gonna want that like Vietnamese vermicelli stuff with the fish sauce.
You always calling out some cultural stuff. I have no idea what you're talking about,
Dude,
but
it's
that's
food.
why I
It's
appreciate
food.
it.
It's always food, man. Because I like to eat. Girls gotta eat.
Look at you. Real quick, we gotta hit the super chat real quick. The bot. Let me put that on the screen real quick. Oh, come on, son. Lynn sound like she squirt like a Pokemon.
Like a Squirtle, or
like a Squirtle.
or like a Pikachu.
Like that.
So Diego's hitting us up with the knowledge.
Wait, hold on. We gotta acknowledge. Hold on, girl.
We gotta go back up for a second.
Hold on. Hold on. The Bot Factory says the question for the lady: what does an Asian American woman want in a man? You're not Asian American.
That was my first thing that I thought of is I'm not an Asian American woman, so I can't speak for Asian American women.
So let's change that to Asian Canadian versus what does she need in a man?
Like a Chinese Canadian woman?
Chinese Canadian, correct.
Well, it depends on the woman.
No, you. Let's talk about you.
Like me specifically?
Come on, girl. Let's get in it.
What I want in a man. Somebody. Feel like we gotta get our acrylics on and like some rosé for this. I don't drink rosé.
She's a
that
cutie
often.
patootie.
You know, I've contemplated this many times over the years. Just because.
What do you want in a man? Lynn, talk about.
I want somebody to like bake cupcakes for and watch sports with and wake up to next to like on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, but what in a man would make you want to bake cupcakes for him, to wake up next to him on a Sunday morning? Like, what are the components of a man that you look for?
Somebody who has certain interests, right? Like, I really love food. And so that's really important for me as somebody who enjoys food. Mm-hmm. Somebody who enjoys learning about the world. Mm-hmm. So I'm very curious about the world. I like to travel. I have friends all over the globe. Name a random place and I may or may not have a friend there already. I think those two are really, really important to me. Character traits, like somebody kind, somebody who's like a really good communicator, because I'm not always the best at verbally communicating. Because as you've noted before, like I'm a processor, like shorty hamster wheel spinning. You
are a processor.
Yeah, right? Like, and so, you know, take somebody who is really good at setting communication and having good boundaries to be able to help draw that out of me.
So Kyle, I'm not missing your super chats. I'm saying there, you say you love lean. Stop drinking lean, Kyle. Stop drinking lean.
What's lean?
Lean is a concoction of over-the-counter substances mixed with legal substances. When I said over-the-counter, I meant prescription substances mixed with over-the-counter substances in order to get high with.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay.
You can, there's been rappers in our time that I know of. I can count a few that have died drinking that. Rest in peace to Pimp C. Codeine, promethazine, Future talks about it. He's a rapper.
Okay. I know Future.
Yeah.
Not in person, but
yeah, you know who that is. Kyle, stop doing lean, please, bro. Let's leave that to Lil Wayne.
See you back on the channel.
Let's leave that to 2006. Lil Wayne, he was in his bag during the time though. Jesus. Kyle also says, bro, I have 2 baby moms that use my kids. Yeah, bro. You know, it's a messed up situation when they use kids as leverage because you decided not to marry them. That's super awful. I'm sorry that happened to you, Kyle. So real quick, it sounds as though you want essentially a blue-pilled man to cuddle up next to kind of ride off into the sunset into. It doesn't sound like there's a component of like a red pill gentleman that would, you know, make the viscosity run down your leg.
No, I need a realist too.
Okay.
Like the way you've explained blue pill to me, it sounds like this person's like somebody who's blue pill is just like completely romantic, love can solve everything, whatever. Yeah. Which like to me is not realistic. I need somebody who, just because you're a realistic person or a realist doesn't mean that you don't believe in like having mutually beneficial like love relationships. Mm-hmm. Right? I love you mentioned earlier like you're a fucking red pill female. But like I still have very enriching relationships with all my friends, with my family. Like I don't, maybe it's not possible. I don't know. I've been single for very long.
Are you ready to mingle, Lynn?
Been thinking about that recently.
So that means no, but maybe soon.
Yeah, maybe soon.
Okay.
I want to like, you know, feel more secure in my own securing the bag first.
Okay. Well, there it is. I think that you have sufficiently answered what do you need from a man. It sounds like it's a little bit of a realist mixed with, and then once you get that realism, then you want to wake up in the morning and bake them some cookies.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
I think I don't know if I fully answered the Bot Factory's question. It's a very personal question, right? Like I can't answer for Asian American women because I'm not Asian American, but at the same time, I think if you just ask a random one, like that's a sample size of one, you need to ask many because Asian American women is a very broad term, right? At the end of the day, they are different types of women. It's like branding all types of men to be the same man.
Well, I think it's I think Bot Factor is probably looking for some tips and tricks and tools of the trade to sway a young
just be a nice guy. Be a nice guy and be respectful.
I don't think nice guy works.
Well, I think it depends on the woman. Depends on the woman. Okay. Actually,
I think the majority of women don't like nice guys. I think women like good guys. They like good people, generally high integrity people if they're serious.
Yeah.
But the nice guy.
We like confident guys, but you're equating, I get the feeling that you're equating nice with not
pushover.
Confident. Yeah. They're not the same thing. You can be a nice, kind person without being like a pushover.
I don't want people to describe me as nice.
Okay, what would you rather them describe you as?
Like, oh, he's a nice guy. Like, I don't think that. I want people to respect me.
Okay.
I think that. I think a good dude earns respect.
Yeah, you're a good person.
Yeah, he earns respect, but you may not be nice.
Yeah.
But you could be good.
Yeah.
You could be firm and stern with your decision making, and you create boundaries. But I think a lot of what doing that will attract a woman because they see leadership potential. But when you think about confidence. A nice guy,
like internal confidence, and that's really important, no matter you're male or female.
So real quick, getting back into the comments. So Diego says, look up Shen Nu, and I was just doing that while I was talking. So then let me bring this up on the screen.
So Diego's like dropping the knowledge over here.
He certainly is.
Yeah.
So Shen Nu. So this is what we were talking about earlier. Leftover women. Look at that. Look, we all learning over here right now.
Yeah.
Or leftover ladies is a derogatory term popularized by All China Women's Federation that classifies women who remain unmarried in their late 20s and beyond.
See, told you, late 20s.
Wow. Most commonly used in China.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very specifically a Chinese term.
Yo, they red pill AF over there. Wow. Culture and statistics. Born 1974. She does not look 40 something. Y'all age pretty well, goddamn well too.
Yeah, once we hit about like 70, all of a sudden it's like boom, we turn into like these little aunties.
Dog, she is 46. The only component of 46 is in her shoulders. I feel like that's a 46-year-old shoulder. But I wonder how much like plastic surgery has been done in order to course correct that age. That is interesting.
I think first of all, East Asians generally have a thicker epidermis.
What is the epidermis?
Your skin.
Oh, okay.
We have thicker layers of skin, and
Black people have melanin.
Yeah, black don't crack, Asian don't raisin. Like
Asian don't raisin. I like that.
Yeah.
Salute to Leo.
That and like at a young age, we put a lot of effort into our skincare routines.
Okay.
A lot of effort, and then on top of that, if you're wealthy, then obviously you can afford to like going on a weekend trip to Korea to get some plastic surgery done as well.
Thailand.
No, just Korea is the gold.
Korea is the gold.
Yeah, Korea is the gold standard for plastic surgery.
I feel like in America, the cheap standard is like a Colombia. You can go down there, and I know I got a couple of folks in my network that have gone down there and gotten the mammary glands done or their nose done for relatively cheap amount of money. But just real quick, I want to get back into the super chats because we gotta get back down to the bottom of the chat.
Leo.
Leo, thank you so much for the 20 Canuck bucks. What do you call Canadian dollars?
Canadian dollars.
Oh, that's whack.
Just dollars.
What's up, Canuck bucks? Thank you so much for the $20 Canuck bucks.
Our $1 are called loonies because they're coins with a loon on it, and our $2 are called toonies, also $2 coins. We don't have $1 bills.
You know?
No. Also, our like dollar bills are separated by color, so like you can tell really quickly what amount of money you have in your hand.
Woo! Sorry. You said it's separated by color, right?
Yeah. So like,
they're very colorful dollars.
Like, so let's say with US dollars, you're holding like, you could be holding $100 bill, you could be holding a $50 bill, you could be holding a $1 bill. They all green. With Canadian dollar bills, if it's a $20 bill, it's green. If it's a $5 bill, it's blue. If it's a $100 bill, it's brown. So you can be able to tell like really quickly how much money you have in your hand, and if you've like tipped somebody with the wrong bill.
You see what Leo just said?
What did Leo just say?
You should become a regular on the live show.
Oh, Leo! That is so sweet.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back. This is a fantastic conversation.
Coming, you know that.
Yeah, we got to make additional time, sequester time, to make sure that you come back because I really appreciate our conversation.
Me too.
Thank you so much, Leo. Appreciate the 20 Canuck bucks. I wanted to get up here where I just wanted to show it real quick. Okay, just one more time.
Like a squirt. Again, please clarify. Like a Squirtle or like a Pikachu or which specific Pokemon?
Look at it.
It's very important.
Nell says it. Oh.
Actually, when they use their powers, they say their name. So like when Squirtle,
yeah, but when he squirts, it makes a squirt noise.
No. But when he squirts, he'll go like Squirtle.
Yeah, but when he squirts, I feel like
but he also doesn't do like a small squirt. He does like boom. Like,
go ahead, talk to him.
Water.
Squirt is not appealing to me, by the way. It's like 85% piss. Oh, we're totally gonna get demonetized. Shout out to Kyle again for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, bro. She kept my son last week on his birthday from me. Damn. It's unfortunate, bro. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. Here's one of the things that I said in the video is like, it eventually softens up, like eventually, right? Like there's 18 years in that person's life, and I think that it eventually should get easier. But I feel like the earlier that they are, the more strain that they're going to put on you, especially because that's when they have much more of an emotional tie on you. So just keep your head up, bro. So you just pointed this one out.
Yeah, I want to address this because David's asked this question twice now, and we hadn't had a chance to address it. Is learning a person's language you're interested in considered cultural appropriation? I'm in the process of learning Spanish, but I don't want to come off as insincere or fake. No, I don't think so. Now, if you start wearing like somebody else's cultural clothing to a fucking Halloween party, yeah, that's cultural appropriation. So learning a language, no. Taking an interest in their culture, absolutely not. But using somebody else's culture as costume is.
There it is. Shout out to the Bot Factory for the $5 super chat. I own a print company. Oh, do you, bro?
No, read the second part.
If you want those viscosity tees, hit me.
I think you need to get some t-shirt designs going. Gotta get some red cup. Yo, MTR merch.
No. So listen. So Bot Factory. I'm gonna hit you up. So I was thinking about going through Teespring, but like if you're saying you have a print company and you also work with logos and designs, like let's figure something out because so like at 10,000 subscribers, which we're probably on trajectory to hit within the next 2 months or so.
Okay.
Then I can put links direct. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We should have a 10,000 follower party.
That's what I was thinking. Like, and do another co-host party at 10,000 subscribers.
Yes, and that'll probably be right around like the unofficial start of summer.
Yeah.
Like May.
So like you start off the summer correctly.
Exactly.
Coming through. You want me to have another? Did you have fun during the last?
I had so much fun at the party.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like it was just a lot of love, a lot of excitement. But at the same time, like, yeah, bro. Let's talk. Let me write that down.
He's taking notes.
Yeah, sorry, but it's a live stream. I can't edit this out, but I just want to write that down so I do not, because if I don't write shit down, I won't remember. So let's talk, bro. Let me go back down. Did you see anything else that you want to? I see.
Hold up. Let's keep going down. Keep going back down. What's with the? Hold up.
Oh. Hold on. Give me a second, guys.
We got one from Kyle.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm making sure that I'm not missing any.
Yeah.
Okay,
there we go.
Kyle. I still have his cake and his presents. Yeah, salute to Kyle. You know what I mean? You know, it's just one of those things. Like, and I talk about this. You know, I want to have my boy come on too because he's currently going through very similar stuff as you. And so like I'll give a real brief short story, and I'm real brief because I know this is not the main thing of the channel. I was at his crib, and she's my goddaughter, right? And I had not met her at the time. I mean, this is like she was less than 1 year old. We live in different states, and the communication throughout the weekend was, when can we link up to make this happen? On a Friday night, we all went out somewhere. We're all chatting. It's at like, or Instagram storing. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were at these girls' house. We met some group of girls that night. You know what I'm saying? And then we're at the crib just having a good time, 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, doing what we do. And she must have saw either my story or someone else's story and saw that he was there at these, right? So it then became a conversation. It then became a drama thing. Right, like she was then using the kid as leverage to understand who he was with, and then like so. In the very long story short, it was so illogical. And the point that I got on the phone and I was talking to her, and I was telling her, "Yo, what you're saying makes absolutely no sense. In the way that you're saying is the reasons why I cannot see my goddaughter. Doesn't make any sense. Like what you're doing, and it was completely illogical, completely irrational. But she was able to use the kid, and the thing is like there's nothing that we can do." Because she had the child, right? So like I say all that to say, bro, like it's gotten a lot better for my bro as he's managed through that. But there's so many things that he has to bite his tongue on that, like, because me, you know, I generally speak my mind, but when there's a child involved, like you have to go about it a certain way, especially if she has the full custody.
Yeah, and you got to pick your battles too, which I think shows a certain level of maturity for him on his end.
Salute again to Kyle. Jonathan, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Can Lynn explain the
the pedo culture and Asian culture and anime?
Oh, that's a good. Can't I gotta run to the restroom.
Yeah, you run to the restroom.
Can you start?
I'll start on this a little bit.
And just to be clear, because maybe there's some people like hentai is like anime porn.
Yeah. So that's porn. That's different from what Jonathan's talking about. Jonathan's talking about like pedophile culture.
I didn't know that there was. But if you look at a lot of Asian porn, they have the girls looking very young. Yeah. So I'm gonna start listening as I go to the restroom.
I mean, there's the. I think you're talking specifically about Japanese schoolgirl culture, right? Because anime is very much like it's Japanese culture, right?
Okay. Do you need me to put it on the screen while you talk about it?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Put it on the screen.
Do you want this up here, or can you just read it right there?
Yeah.
Because the thing is like I wanted to give you a pillar or two to make you up higher, but if I put the thing up on the screen, see it cuts your face off.
Oh yeah, because so you want to give me a booster seat?
I was thinking about
because I'm 5 feet tall.
Pillow. Look at that. Go ahead, show him. Show him.
You can't
Show
even
'em.
see it.
Listen, everyone down in the chat, you guys are not working on your bodies. Reallocate your time. You should
Yo,
always
man,
be working on your bodies.
It's true. You know what? Quick tangent. I got really like sad last fall, and I ended up calling my old trainer in Toronto, and I just lost like 30 something pounds because I was like, fuck, I got to work on my fitness. It's been a while. So anyway, back to Jonathan's question about pedo culture. What?
Mediocre.
What?
Oh, I think you said my name.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Back to the question about pedo culture, specifically in like Japanese anime and schoolgirl culture and stuff like that. I don't really understand it either. I'm not a man. I'm not Japanese either. I do think it is kind of bizarre. It is a large part of kind of anime culture too. I think there's like a value in youthfulness that might be driving it. I don't specifically know, but at the same time, it's not like, you know, we're not showing super youthful looking people in kind of what we see as well in our media. I think it's a little extreme because they look so young, yet at the same time in a lot of these stories they're described as somebody who might be a little older. Granted, I think a big notable one that I never really noticed until I was older was like Sailor Moon, right? Like Sailor Moon in the original was like in her teens, and like the dude who was her love interest was like definitely a legal adult, and so it was just like, oh, that feels a little wrong. But yeah, I can't really explain it because like I'm not Japanese and I'm not a creator. I'm not also like somebody who is kind of attracted to the schoolgirl culture. Let's call it. I do really like anime though.
Yo, anime is my ish.
Yeah, mine too. I grew up on that stuff. I was in the anime club in high school.
Were you in an anime club?
Yeah, I was in the anime club, but I was like vice president of the classics club. I was president of the Linus Project Club, and the French Culture Club.
Aren't you just worldly?
Dude, it's high school. It was like, you know, having fun after school activities with your friends and then going to work.
Because the mom said a red cut with MTR down the side with viscosity underneath. Yeah, J-Do, we need to excuse, pardon the masculinity in a shirt and 2X me. Absolutely. Pardon the masculinity.
You could put that on like a shirt or a gym workout shirt, like the racerback ones, or like even like I would do mugs and stuff. I feel like a workout shirt would be really good, like a workout tank.
Pardon the masculine. Oh man, can you imagine? Like, listen, guys, look.
Gray sweatpants.
Oh, I thought I had my mediocre shirt on. I don't. But the thing is like that was just putting my name up on a shirt, but like I need like branding. You see what I'm saying? Do you feel like you sufficiently answer this question? I feel like
I wasn't able to answer this question because I don't have the background to answer it.
So if you can't explain it, you can't explain it.
Like I would feel wrong trying to explain it when I'm not equipped with the tools to, right? Because it's very specific to Japanese culture, not Japanese. It's it caters to a certain taste of people who are looking for kind of the slight pedophilic tendencies and angles. That doesn't appeal to me, right?
I think it's gross. I think it's disgusting. Well, yeah. I think it's
yeah, and it's definitely like a large part of Japanese culture.
Just real quick, let me just make sure I haven't missed any. Let me go back down to the bottom of the chat.
I see some like big comments over here.
Salute to everyone that's coming down into the chat. Let me see. I see. Yeah, keep your head up, Kyle. Continue to keep your head up.
All the love out to you, Kyle.
I see all of the love. Listen, guys, I can't look at the current likes on the channel. Wait, hold up.
What?
Didn't we say we'd be out of here at 2 hours? We got, come on.
I told you I'm with Chatty Cathy.
It's not you, it's me.
And then everybody started commenting, and then we got excited, and it was like, you know, yo, who's saying they're eating a steak if it's cooked 50-50? I need that shit to be like rare, medium rare, or like Pittsburgh style, you know, where it's like charred on the outside, it's like bloody on the inside.
Shout out to everybody that's coming down in the chat. What up, Taylor? How are you? Never mind my presence. But I'll stop what? I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What up,
Is there
Taylor?
beef going on in here?
There's always something going on in there.
Okay.
Is there ever a preferred method to approaching Asian women as opposed to women of other races?
I think we addressed this earlier, like at the 1 hour mark.
I feel like you're rubbing it in that we're going beyond what we told you.
Yeah. We talked about this earlier, David. Think about it as like they're women who are generally fetishized. So approach them as if with respect and just introduce yourself and say hi. And if it doesn't go anywhere, move on to the next woman. There's like over 1 billion of them.
Did you say you were president of the anime club? Did I miss that?
No, I was part of the anime.
That's what I thought I heard you say.
Yeah, I was part of the
Listen,
anime
I
club.
love anime.
Yo, what's your favorite one?
I mean, I'm Dragon Ball Z all day, every day. I mean, I wear
classic.
I wear Dragon Ball Z hoodies to like most of my chats with them. Like Dragon Ball Z is my goddamn shit. But at the same time, like, so I like Dragon Ball Z before it was on Toonami. Like I was like in stores in New York City at like those stores where they had the import DVDs. You know what I'm saying? So like I was in it back then, like back then. You see what I'm saying? And there's so many concepts within pushing past your limit, which is what I do each and every day, right? Every time that I'm in the gym, I'm trying to push past my limit because without that, you will not grow. Okay? You will not grow. You will
like
never
a
grow.
Hero element to it and like a growth element to it.
But specific to a push past your limit element of what you thought. And that's like, there's components of that like I've always tried to experience and put myself into in my life. Like I said, like you cannot be like, you have to be comfortable with the feeling of uncomfortability.
Yeah, it's true.
You see what I'm saying? And you cannot push past a limit unless you become uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like even when you're pushing out that last rep in your body, like the growth happens when you feel your most shittiest at the gym. That's when the growth happens.
If you never lift a weight, it'll always be heavy.
Facts.
If you never push past that limit.
Yeah, like people would be like, yo, how do I do more? Because like I put up a video with like me doing muscle ups and shit like that. So people was like, yo, how do I, improve my pull-up game? And I'm like, do pull-ups. Yeah. Do them. Yeah. And do a lot of them. Continue to do them. Count them. Count the break between your sets.
Consistency is important.
And count the amount of sets and reps that you're doing. And then either add on weight next time or decrease the time between the sets. And then go on from there.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of love for One Piece and Naruto. Those are good. I'd say for me, like Sailor Moon. I like it all. Sailor Moon, Galaxy Express 999.
Lynn got that good energy. What up, Striving? First time seeing you down here. Salud.
Thank you.
Oh, you becoming a fan favorite.
Oh.
Listen, I need a new cutie pie up in here. I needed a new one. Okay? Because the last one left me. She left me. I'm being facetious in my hurt. I respect her decision, but I needed a new
we love her.
cutie pie.
We gotta get Tiffany up in here, and then we have like a little group chat. That'd be a lot of fun.
I should get Tiffany and Lynn up in here. Yes. Tiffany, Lynn. Who's another that
I'll
was?
Bring cupcakes.
You bring cupcakes. I'm gonna set up the camera somewhere else.
Or
we're gonna have a nice little table.
I'll bring macaroons.
We have a nice little table, and we're gonna be talking around in a circle and just eating macaroons and whatever the hell a macaroon is. We'll be eating those. Yeah. And then
we'll create a little spread, or we could do ribs. Do you like ribs? We could do ribs.
I'm a rib fan.
I just okay. So I usually the way I make ribs is like I'll braise them for 3 hours and then finish them in the oven. But I just got an Instant Pot and I learned that like you could do it in that. So I'm gonna learn how to do that. So that it's faster.
Anything what you just said, brazen, all of this, but let's just do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Also too, I see some comments down there like, where's Tiff at? Tiff has just been living Tiff's life. She was actually, if you guys were on the Patreon,
Carnival, wasn't she?
if you guys been looking on the Patreon, like we put up videos of like she was just at Carnival.
Yeah.
I actually put up a video because
She looks so good.
she in Carnival, she came across a subscriber. This is on my Patreon. She came across a subscriber.
Yo.
Yes, the subscriber recognized her in like the street.
That's
and then
so awesome.
yeah, and then she's like, FaceTiming with the subscriber and shit like that. Like it's super dope.
That's super cool.
So she's coming back. Like trust and believe.
I love it.
Trust and believe she's coming back. I want Lynn, Tiffany. Let me think of who else.
Yeah,
I think Mo would be good too to even it out because Mo can.
Yeah.
Do you know Mo? You might have met Mo.
I think I met Mo.
Okay.
Olivia would be cool too.
Do you know Olivia?
She was at the party.
She was at the party.
We had a really good conversation about like pharmaceuticals
Olivia
and
would
the
be
opioid
dope.
crisis.
Olivia will be
She's
dope.
so smart. Like I love having conversations with her.
And she's also a hypergamist.
Interesting.
She's a heavy hypergamist. She wants the paper. She wants the assets to be guaranteed.
Well, they're not guaranteed if you don't earn them yourself, is kind of my learning in life. Julian got a question here.
What up, Julian? Thank you so much for the
Hello.
$5 super chat. You want to read it?
Is it realistic for a woman to focus on her career in her early years, then start a family afterwards? If not, what's more realistic in your opinion? I think everybody has a different path, personal opinion, because I have friends who focused on their career first and then start a family later. I have some friends who started the family first and then worked on the career in tandem or worked on the career a little later. I've seen it work in different ways. It really depends on the person and also the type of career you've chosen, and whether or not you've honestly met the right person to start that family with, or if you're starting a family on your own, then like whether or not you have the economic means to, because that's really important too, is being able to like pay the bills when you start that family. And if there's a will, there's a way. You'll find a way to afford it. You may just, maybe you're not putting your kid in ballet and piano and flute and violin and whatever else, and math tutoring, right? Like, you might have to scale back on lifestyle in other ways as well, if you choose to do that, and depending on when you choose to do that. So, yes, it is realistic to focus on your career in your early years and then start a family afterwards. Like one of my old bosses, 10 years ago, she was very much a career woman and very much was, up until recently, she just had her first baby. And she ended up getting hand plucked to go move to China and then to Thailand, and then back to the US. So and she works at a large multinational corporation in a very a decently high executive level. So it is totally possible. She did it. So can you. So can I.
There it is.
Yeah.
Salud. All right.
And also, it depends when you really want to start a family. If it happens for you, or if you have a certain timeline, I wouldn't adhere to it because you never know how life is going to work. But people are having babies well into their 40s these days because your body can handle it. It absolutely can. We've got modern medicine on our side.
They're over here still talking about you squirting.
And I thought we moved on to anime.
I want her to improve her pull-up game, and I'll improve my pull-out game. I love myself.
Be safe.
Shout out to Jonathan, Patreon supporter. Yes, everyone in the chat needs to sub to at least the $5 Patreon. Hey, would appreciate that support. You know what I'm saying? To make this, the thing is the more kind of support in these, it makes that this dedicating more times to this way more realistic. So I appreciate all the love and the support, guys. Kyle is in brother in arms. Salute to Kyle. I think I missed one of the chats. You guys are going in.
Oh, they're saying who we should call up
they're
for
saying
a little chat party.
Say no to Mo. Mo too young. They said, call Naya. I gotta hit up Naya. Couple of last videos that she did, the reception, it kind of goes back to the reason why Kelly doesn't want to come back. you know, a lot of that is the reception could get really weird when, you know, you get random people that don't come to a live stream and don't get to meet and talk to us, and they just look at the video and just do a drive-by night comment. You know what I'm saying? And we get Diego that says Mo and Lynn, and then also Olivia.
Ooh, Hunter X Hunter, Julian. Shout out.
Hunter X Hunter.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's the name of an anime.
Oh, I gotta go put that on the
that's
watch list.
That's like, you know, 2005-ish, I think, 2006-ish.
Salute to Kyle. MTR come down for Sam's red pill stream. Listen, we gotta hit Sam where he needs to be hit. I'm tired of him and his super mega blue pill. You know, we gotta talk about it in the best way that we know how. You know what I mean? We gotta talk about it in the best way that I know how. We gotta save him. He don't want saving. It's thing. I uploaded a video earlier this week that talk about you can't see people that don't want to be saved. I feel like he doesn't want to be saved. I'm like, bro.
I'm seeing a lot of love for Tiff. I've got a lot of love for Tiff.
Yeah, Tiff is that's the thing.
Tiff is a real one.
There was no one up here who's acting. Everyone's personality that you see up here is how they actually, like, I'd call it out middle of the chat if I felt like, yo, who are you right now? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just real quick, I'm at the bottom of the chat. Let's start the wrap
Tension.
up here.
Who? DeMonte. DeMonte's been watching anime for a long time.
Oh, Attack on Titan. Let's talk about Attack. Yo, y'all about to get me. Yo, Attack on Titan is crazy.
Death Note.
Death Note is that. I finished all of Death Note. I finished all of Attack on Titan. No, actually, I still got a couple of episodes in Attack on Titan to go. But yeah, Death Note is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Attack on Titan is crazy. Listen, we gotta wrap up here. Fuck the title of the video.
Good one, though. Here,
we're gonna start wrapping up here in the next 5 minutes.
We should finish on this comment.
You gonna read it?
Yeah. It's important to have different ideas to have more creative discussions, and I think that kind of really wraps up what we're gonna talk about today: intercultural dating. It's like diversity, right? In order to be competitive and innovative, you gotta like have diversity of thought and diversity of people.
Yeah.
And you know, that makes me better. That makes my life more fun to live in. And coming on here, learning new things about this culture that I'm, you know, currently a guest of.
Yeah.
has been really interesting. But I wouldn't have had that if I had like just gone and found another like Chinese Canadian girl living here.
Facts. And now think about all the things that you learned today from me in the chat, and all the things that the chat and I learned from you today.
Oh.
And that's the power of diversity. That's the power of getting outside of the block that you grew up on. Now the hood of the block that you grew up on. I'm talking to my fellas just real quick.
Yeah.
The hood of the block that you grew up on, motherfucker's gonna die over that shit. The earth is big. Why die over something that you don't even own? It doesn't make sense. But that's all that they can see. And there's a lot of us that can't dream what they cannot see. So they take only stock into what is in their general vicinity. The thing is, this is the power. This is the beauty of life. Seeing and hearing and learning things that are different outside of what you're used to. So you can help continue to build on your character. Okay? Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Couple of quick things. Marcus, Death Note.
Yo, man, that shit is dark.
It's so dark.
It's so dark.
Dark.
They have
You'll love it, bro.
A real person, like a movie too.
Yeah, I heard not to watch it though. Like a live action. I heard not to watch it though, so I didn't. But it's on Netflix as well. But you can see Death Note now on Netflix.
Watch the anime.
Listen.
Yo, Nels.
Lo, DeMonte going in Tower of God. I haven't heard of it. And Solo Leveling.
Hold on. Nels is saying, I can't date you because you're a Scorpio. Is that why people won't date me?
Nah, a good Scorpio. See, the thing is like date for what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
Because if you're dating for
what on earth is an Asian hood booger?
This is vicious viscosity. Scorpios is where you want to go at. Just real quick. We about to get out of here in a second, guys. Shout out to Solo TV. What's good, my G? How are you?
What's that?
What's up, Lynn? Solo
Hi, Solo.
Lynn. There it is. Salute to everybody that's down into the chat. Rasheen has a question for you when you coming back to Toronto.
Well, okay, so here's actually we were talking about travel plans earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking of going back to Toronto in April just because I haven't been home since January for Chinese New Year.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking of maybe taking a trip to Kenya with my best friend in April.
Mm-hmm.
So then maybe I'll just go in May to Toronto.
Okay. May, Toronto.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of traveling coming up.
Yeah.
I have no current plans for Toronto, but I love what do they call it? T-Dot?
Yeah. Well,
is that what they call it?
T-Dot is like OG. We call it T-Dot.
Yeah.
But like the youngins, they call it the 6.
Yeah.
Some people call it TO.
The 6. Did Drake did Drake do that?
Drake kind of made it popular. He wasn't the guy who invented it. It represents the 6 boroughs of Toronto.
Yeah.
But I think in like some places, the 6 is also referred to for like Philly or something, or some other city. Maybe it was Pittsburgh. I can't remember. Some other American city where like they were called the 6 first.
I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can
now
write
we're
that down.
The 6. But old school kids who used to listen to Cardinal Official, it's T-Dot.
Yeah. And salute again to Solo. I see you down in there. Yo, we got to figure out when we're gonna do content together, bro. I know, we've been emailing back and forth. It was dope you having me on your channel. I feel like that conversation was fantastic. I gotta figure out what is it we can talk about, what is it we can do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you gotta come on my channel now. It's about goddamn time. We gotta do a conversation for the people. Salute to you, my G. For folks that don't know, Solo was another content creator. I feel like all of y'all know Solo was another content creator. Go over to his channel, click subscribe, click alerts, and then come back over to my channel. Fantastic content. Appreciate you, bro. God, I think we gotta get out of here. I feel like we have sufficiently hit up on the topics. We have sufficiently gone an hour and a half past. What the hell? I promise. Y'all think y'all slick.
All the time.
Y'all think y'all slick. And she was 30 minutes late. Talk about she was on Asian time. I said, what you know about Asian time? You know what CP time is? You know what CP time is?
What's CP stand for?
Colored people.
Oh, yeah. Black time. I knew it was like, I was like, half an hour.
All minorities.
At me, but like,
all minorities is late.
Yeah,
all of us.
Well, except for German people. Well,
no, that's not. Yeah, they are the right. Like, well, Caucasian people. It's like all minorities have like there's an Indian time, there's an Asian time, there's a CP time,
Arab time.
Right. Yeah. Right. So it's essentially anything that is not minority from a race perspective. They have that time. But she was 30. You are the first and only person so far that has been late, FYI. And I've been doing this now for a year.
And I've been like pretty much consistently somewhat late.
Have you?
Well, maybe 5 minutes.
I'm going to.
I make an effort to try and get here on time when you're doing your video.
I'm going to schedule you earlier now that I know you be running on some different versions of time than my clock is used to.
Yeah, most of my friends will tell me like, "Oh, Lynn, the party starts at 8:30," and I'll be like, "Okay," and then I get there, but they actually told each other like 9:30, so that I get there on time.
Listen, now that I know, I'm gonna plan differently for you. All right, Lynn, wholeheartedly appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
I want you to come back sooner rather than later.
Me too.
Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
I appreciate your thoughts. I appreciate the discussions.
And thank you, everybody, for having me and being kind.
Absolutely. I think you guys were real fair tonight as well. So I wholeheartedly appreciate each and every one of you. Let's figure this out. I might do a live stream tomorrow as well. So guys, if you haven't clicked on the notification bell, click on it now so you know when I start it up. And when I start it up, we're going to have a conversation about it. What I'm thinking about doing tomorrow, and I'm not 100% confirmed. I still need to reach out to her. I have somebody who is recently divorced, and she's a woman, and wants to kind of talk about that situation and that story. I think it would be a fantastic conversation because I want to go into what caused her to get married, what led to the breakup and the divorce, and then what does she learn from that particular situation? I think it'll be a fantastic conversation. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Lynn, is that it? Anything else to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, I saw somebody from Scarborough. Shout out to Scarborough. That's where we first moved to when we moved to Canada.
I finished that sentence for you. I finished the A on that sentence.
Too like deliberate though.
Yeah, but like, you know.
A?
There it is. I had to get one before we get out of here.
Thank you.
Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com.
Like
Y'all see, oh, wrong side. Patreon.com/MTNR. Feel free to go up there. We have a family up there. We got extra content up there. We have shows behind the scenes that never go up on the channel. There's shows and videos that get up on Patreon literally a month before they actually hit the channel.
Damn. I want to see those videos.
Oh yeah, I'll show you kind of what's going on out there.
Gotta join the Patreon though.
You gotta join the Patreon, no. Oh, that's right. I can't show you till you join the Patreon. Salute. The Canadian cutie pie strikes again. Until next time, YouTube. Oh shit.
Wait, we gotta try that again.
Oh, I thought you were gonna slap.
Oh no, I couldn't slap because my other arm couldn't reach this arm.
Let's do it again. Pardon the masculinity. Peace. It's always an awkward, like, little bit of space before I can find the end broadcast button.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, but here it is.